Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the UKEL Div 2 Open Qualifiers. This is game one for Fuse against Super Sparkly Unicorns, and I'm joined by Team Spawn Peak's newest prodigy mid laner, YOON. Welcome. Is he dead? YOON?
I was muted. What a good
Oh,
start.
you chud! Oh, okay. Well, hang on a sec. Okay, everyone who's watching now, act like that didn't happen. Okay, okay.
Okay. And run it back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the UKEL Div 2 Open Qualifiers. This is already turning out fantastic. We are currently doing Fuse against Super Sparkly Unicorns because the +1 game, game one got FF'd. Unfortunately, we're here with Team Spawn Peak YOON as the draft is coming through here. Briar, taken off quite early, has been seeing a lot more potency in that solo queue, but not going to be here on the main stage as we see an Ornn ban in response. YOON, do you think Ornn has kind of become a priority pick in various roles?
Well, talking about Ornn, I think when you've got the GOAT top lane in Gertrude, the pony herself, Laura herself, you kind of have to get rid of it.
We also see the Neferi and LeBlanc bans. At the moment, Fuse's bans look very much solo queue-esque. I'm surprised that we didn't see a Talon get taken away there. That's been
Yeah, so
running.
this Briar ban is because the jungler is Grandmaster in solo queue and is a Briar one trick by the look of it.
Oh,
They also play a
interesting.
bit of Neferi, and that champion's quite popular at the moment.
There was a Talon Hover who I was tempted to say might get picked. Wasn't expecting it to be a B1. Orianna now getting hovered up. That's going to be the first lock-in. First lock-in of Open Qualifiers is Orianna. Would you have expected that, YOON?
Yeah, I want to say it's quite a common B1 at this point in the game. And I feel like Ryan's a very good Orianna player, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, it's met with the Ashe. Would it be the Ashe Seraphine, though, and then possibly traded for the Ezreal Karma? We haven't really seen all too much variation on this matchup. It's basically just been one team gets Ashe Seraphine, the other goes for Ezreal Karma. It's very rare to see anything outside of those two picks at the moment. Is there anything that you would like to see potentially into this combo?
Maybe a Jarvan. I feel like if we can enable a Jarvan here, especially as a pairing with the Orianna into the immobile Ashe and Seraphine, then it should make picking them off a lot easier.
Yeah.
We could look to just secure Ezreal Karma here, of course, but I kind of like getting the Jarvan early. I think Jarvan Karma would probably make more sense.
Yeah,
I don't mind this at all.
Ezreal Karma locked in. That's a Sejuani pick, and interesting. She is going to be quite zoned out, I feel, into this mixture here. Jarvan's going to be that first ban taken away in the second phase. You can almost guarantee it might be potentially Jarvan Xin Zhao taken away as the most common, Xin Zhao being the most picked champion in pro play currently. Or is it potentially a Nocturne ban to deny the Nocturne Orianna synergy?
It could be, you know. I'm quite surprised that the Sejuani was prioritized over the Xin Zhao here. I feel like Xin Zhao's just a lot better for what they're trying to do in the comp.
And that's
Maybe they're just
Nocturne
looking
taken
for
away.
more solid engage, perhaps.
Could this mean that they're looking for something a little bit more squishy in the top lane so they have that guaranteed front line? But again, I think
Here's
Xin
where I
Zhao.
consult the op.gg and see what the top laner plays.
Quick, get me the numbers.
So it looks like he plays Riven, Jace, Cho'Gath, and Renekton the most.
Okay, well, it could potentially be a Riven game coming through. We know there's definitely one of us in this call is quite proficient at Riven, and I'm telling you what now, I am plat, so it can't be me.
Oh, thanks. You flatter me as always.
Ooh.
I think it's hard to play Riven in a comp like this where you kind of have to catch up to the Karma Ezreal. You're not
There's
really.
a Silas ban. That makes me think
Mm.
Malphite. Oh, could it be a Malphite jungle? It's going to be a Zir lock-in. Very traditional mid lane pick there. I guess that's all you really want to look for into the
Yeah,
Orianna.
the
I
Orianna
think it's a
has
Malphite.
priority early into the Azir, but obviously Azir, once it gets Nash's tooth, can start pumping damage, especially
Xin
with
Zhao Malphite?
Sejuani.
Xin Zhao
Zinzao, I see it.
locked.
I think Zinzao plus Enchanter is very strong at the moment, has been for quite a while.
Yeah, we're just waiting in anticipation. Fuse has this last lock-in. Now, Unicorns do have that R5 counter pick. But guess what? We might be going rock solid. Come on, make me look smart. Make me look smart. Let's go. Malphite locked in.
Malphite game.
If this is Shamrock Malphite, I think Fuse win game 1. I'm not even joking. I actually really think that the Fuse comp is quite hard to beat. You've got good range with the Ezreal Orianna. You've got great sustain with that Karma. And obviously, Malphite Xin Zhao aren't the easiest targets to take down. Unicorns, what can they find on R5 here? Could it potentially be something like a more defensive pick? I was going to think about Sion or Mundo potentially. Or even a Cho'Gath, but then again, they do
This is
have
a very
lot of magic
very
damage.
standard draft from both teams. I honestly feel like it's predictable in the first game of a best of 1 day, where we're going to be playing a lot of best of ones just to try and get something on the board. Play really easy to play traditional comp like this. Feels like there were no risks taken at all in this draft from either team.
Yeah, it's game 1. Open qualifiers. This is the decider of... This is to go into Division 2, isn't it? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, so eventually, not today, but eventually, down the line of this little qualifying tournament, there are places up for grabs in Div 2.
Alrighty. I think, if you were in this draft, which team would you rather be on the side of? For me, I think it's Fuse. I think Fuse have the much more consistent team comp. I'm not too keen on this Sejuani pick. I think it's going to be really tricky to try and get much value. And your entire game plan is hinging on a skill shot hitting. And when you've got dashes on Ezreal and a lot of movement speed on Karma and Orianna, I think it's going to be very difficult to pick out these carries. But let me hear what you think.
You know, I'm kind of leaning the other way purely because I think that the Unicorns team comp is a bit easier to play. I feel like Ashe Seraphine are a lot easier to actually find that value with, as opposed to Ezreal, who needs to hit skill shots as easy as a skill shot should be to hit in a team fight like this. And I think that Azir just kind of outscales damage-wise all of the carries on the side of Fuse. Also feel like Sion is a better space maker than Malphite is, because Malphite has the unstoppable force, but after that,
yeah, he's not really got
Malphite's only really slapping you with boulders.
Yeah, a lot of
whereas Sion is constantly yelling. I think that's better.
And do not worry, I will get these ultimates confused. Unstoppable Onslaught and Unstoppable Force, the names of the ultimates on these two champions. So get ready for muddles and mix-ups. But luckily, I'm sure that they will never be fighting in top lane because they're playing 2 tanks. Am I going to be proved wrong level 1?
Ooh.
We shall wait and see.
I feel like Laura's the sort of person to take grasp in every matchup that is under the sun and just try and stack grasp. So I wonder what will happen here.
Yeah, just a reminder to everybody watching, because of All Eyes on Gav forfeiting game 1 against PlusOne, we will not be covering that because it doesn't exist. It's already happened. PlusOne are already 1-0 up. But we will be covering the remaining games after Fuse versus Super Sparkly Unicorns game 1, which you are watching right now. The draft is currently underway. We will also need to wait for the spectator delay. But while we do that, grab a drink, grab some refreshments, because ladies and gentlemen, we are so back.
This beautiful thing. We're back for winter. For winter. For summer 26.
It's already snowing.
Someone who's very good at GeoGuessr can figure out where you live now.
Good thing I'm moving in a week. Don't worry, they'll just have to find it then as well.
You heard it first here, folks. You have a week to find where Tinsel lives.
You have 1 week. After that, doesn't matter because you won't be able to find me. I'm going to live underground, like the hermits. Well, Yoon, while we wait for the spectator delay to run its course, I want to talk to you about the mid lane meta in particular. Obviously, you are a mid laner, and you are a rather proficient one at that. So what, in your opinion, is the kind of strong picks in mid lane at the moment? And are there things that you think we should be seeing that we currently aren't, especially in the current pro play landscape?
Ooh. Wow, that's a very good and loaded question. I'm actually going to go to my client and go to collection and look at the champion list and just go through and remind myself what champions exist. Because frequently you see Oriana, you see Azir picked, and for obvious reasons. They're very versatile, they're very strong champions. They scale great into the team fight sort of setups that most teams go for. I think Ari in general is underappreciated at higher tiers. Obviously, she picked a lot at this level in the UKL, but I think in general she's underappreciated. I think Hui is really underappreciated. I think he is pickable in a lot more matchups than people think. He's quite good into those mid-range control majors. And one that is a little more left of field, but I think Zoe is very, very good right now. Doesn't seem to be getting a lot of play at all, but I think she's probably the strongest she's been in quite some time. She's pretty much always useful.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I do want to
pick
ask
some of
about
those.
one champion who has kind of fallen off. It seems that Syndra. It feels like we're seeing significantly less of her. Is that just because of the sort of pieces surrounding her, or is it because as a champion she's kind of fallen by the wayside?
I feel like other champions usually offer a little more than she does in the early game. I don't think she's a bad champion at all, but I feel like the logic a lot of people follow when they come to make these decisions isn't is this champion good or not? It's just is this champion better than other champions? And I think Syndra kind of falls on the negative of that a lot, where she's not quite as useful for the team early as say an Ori or an Ari would be. Um, she takes a little bit longer since her mini rework with the splinters to actually get up to a point where she's able to one-shot people with the unleashed power. There we go, I remembered that one. Yeah, I just feel like she's lost a bit of what used to make her Syndra, which was that dominating lane that is still good. It's just not quite as hard winning as it used to be.
Yeah, and recently we have seen those kind of more utility support picks, things like the Annie and the Lissandra coming out. It was, I believe it was Jojo Pion for MKOI picking the Lissandra at the start of this split
Yeah,
or
you
the
know what?
start
I
of the
forgot
previous
that
split.
champion existed. Even though I play her quite a lot myself, I forgot the champion existed. Yeah, I think she's mega, mega useful. I feel like she's underrated, to be honest. She has very good matchups as long as you're not outranged. So, say you're playing Lissandra into something like a Hui, like a Xerath, you probably aren't enjoying your life very much in lane phase. However, if you're playing it in something like Ari, happy days. Call your jungler over, E forward, W, wait for W to almost finish, and just ult them. Free kill every time. So yeah, I feel like she has a really good place. So it's nice to see her get picked.
Yeah. On the topic of these utility mid laners, I feel like there's one that has kind of just, or there's two actually, that feel
Mm.
like they have very much just kind of fallen off a cliff. One of them much more than the other. I think the one that's fallen off a little bit less, like as in he could basically get picked at any point. I think Twisted Fate has seen a big drop in popularity. I know that he still is picked across, you know, levels of pro play,
Mm.
but I feel like we're not seeing him as much. But the other one, for me, I think, is Malzahar, who, for me, is the kind of
Ooh, that's an interesting
icon
one.
of the kind of utility one button to win a team fight champions. As we are just about to get into game, bear with me, please.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just setting up the objective timers and taking
Yep.
the time control off and everything. You know, we're just doing the housekeeping to make the stream as good as possible.
I
But
don't know why it
yeah,
doesn't
I
save.
think Malzahar is honestly a pretty decent champion. I feel like he's not the most I've forgotten the word for it, but it's the ability to cause things to happen outright without mistakes. Agency, there we
Highest
go.
agency, yeah.
It's not the highest
Oh.
agency champion, but he is solid.
All right,
Oh,
well,
very heavy
already
trade there.
got a bit of damage going on to Stitch there, and it doesn't
From the
look like Fuse
Heartsteel
bot lane.
Ezreal. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be just a bunch of music in the bot lane with Seraphine and Ezreal coming through here. Actually, a very nice chroma. I thought it was Battle Academia initially.
It's definitely that colour scheme, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I recognise those trousers
No,
anyway. That
yeah,
is
he's not got the
Heartsteel, my friend.
shoulders. He's not got the shoulders as well. Beautiful Mantra Q coming through here. He's going to be able
Wow.
to catch the damage of the Stitch, but the Seraphine dropping very low. Already having to use both pots here.
It's a rough start for the Seraphine Ashe.
Yeah, it just feels like Wailery, who, by the way, incredible Zeri top player, having a very
Yeah, I'm very
decent
excited
time.
for Wheeler in particular because today is their first official game.
Really?
They've never played a competitive game before. This is the first one.
Well, happy debut. If I had a graphics guy who could pop something up on screen,
Ooh,
I might not need
the
to
heal
because
comes out.
we are almost 2 minutes in and already 1 kill in the book. Pretty incredible. Wooden Spoon here on the Scion. Opting for the Doran's Helm. Now, we have obviously seen a couple of new Doran's items come into play with Doran's Bow. Oh my goodness gracious me, Stitch. Get out of there while you still can. But Doran's Bow and Doran's Helm have been the 2 new additions.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of questions around Doran's Blade versus Doran's Bow, but I want to ask, while we might have a potential bit of downtime, what do you think of these 2 new Doran additions?
I think Doran's Helm is very, very niche. I feel like the health regen from Doran's Shield is very underrated. Even if you're not against a champion that's hitting you a lot, just the raw regen it gives, I think is really underrated. So I don't think Helm has that many places, really. I think the times it's good is if you're against someone that's very aggressive early and really goes for those heavy trades as opposed to those constant little ticks of damage. I actually played against a Cassidin mid when I was playing Kiana, who rushed. That's the wrong word for first item, but bought a Helm first, and it was quite difficult to get through the health bar, even when it's a hard running matchup. I'd like to see Helm on maybe Cassante as a useful thing because he has those armor magic scalings. Yeah, but other than that, I don't really like it on the Scion here. And the bow, I just think it's hard to lane without that added HP sometimes. I think it's quite a greedy start. It kind of gives me those cool vibes, those starting cool vibes.
Yeah. I have to agree with you, especially on that one. Meanwhile, what's been going on? We've got TPs exchanged by both top laners. Wooden Spoon did have to flash after a Gertrude intrusion on the Malphite here. Trading damage through and through. Doesn't make Smash going to be able to land. Doesn't get the knock up, but here we go. It's going to be a little bit of an extended trade, and I'm already eating my words. Level 5 has popped for both top laners. Wooden Spoon takes an initial aggression. Both of these top laners have got grasp, but they're going to be getting that extra bit of healing between the fights. But guess what? There's a Sejuani coming in from the side. The Q's going to wait. It's a flash forward away from Gertrude. And they will be able to survive just about.
Yeah, I was kind of worried when the wave was being held in such a place that it did give Sejuani that space to look for the gank. And we know she's clearing up here. Well, she's clearing down rather, but we know she did the top scuttle. There we go.
Sanguinius already trying to look to make some pressure on the map. We haven't seen Lost in the Echo make any kind of appearances on the lanes, but we are going to see a little bit of action here. Whaley going to be going forward. That Stitch going low. The Arcane Shift takes him forward. It's going to be first blood, and it's 1 already. Will it be 2? Estus will go wide, but the auto attacks are stacking. The barrier gets popped as well, but it's all too little too late, as we might potentially see a 3rd kill here for Fuse. Wooden Spoon having to run away. Gertrude, the pony, is galloping towards, but no mana in the tank means the Scion shall live. And already, first professional game, and he's got 2 kills on the board.
That is a tale as old as time. You see the wooden spoon, you lick it, but it's never quite gone.
What, when you're baking a cake or brownies?
Honestly, I was waiting to use that line the second I saw his name was Wooden Spoon. Please clap.
Chat, please clap. Please clap. It was a good joke. It was a good joke. Now, we haven't really seen all too much action come around this mid lane, but now that the Drake is up, I'm assuming that's going to be changing. Sanguinius is around, but uses mid laner backing off there. I don't think I have correct names, as streamer mode has been turned on. How dare they?
The mid laner goes by Ryan, if that helps.
Ryan, okay, I will try and remember that, but I cannot make any guarantees. SS Fluxes are still landing. You can tell that this guy has been playing the League online skill shot hitter, as it might potentially already be a 3rd. Flash is available for the Ezreal, who's going to be going forward. It's another for Wheelery. And might it be 4? Might it be 4? 2 double kills in a row makes it 4-0-0. Involvement in every kill, the recipient of every kill. And this Ezreal is already proving to be too much to handle as... Oh no, Wooden Spoon. Oh dear. Unstoppable Force is available for Gertrude.
You can't really be much happier than this for a start if you're on the side of Fuse, really, can you?
Now your Ezreal's ahead, the Ashe Seraphine is behind, and the Azir is not able to kind of get much of a foot in. Infernal Drake, first one of the day. The first one of Division 2 Open Qualifiers because of +1's for Game 1 not happening. This is officially the first. You were here when the first Drake went down. Where's my statisticians to write down that it was an Infernal Drake that came first? Do you remember the World's Pick'ems where you had to try and guess which soul would be most popular? And it was always Cloud. It was always Cloud. Don't know how.
I feel like that's the case with statistics. As much as there's an even odd of getting any of the Dragon Souls, usually in a sample size such as that, you'll always get one more prevalent than the others. I think it would be incredibly weird to have the normal expected result there.
Okay, Sanguinius is stuck into the Orianna here. Ryan able to dodge the Ashe Arrow. Would have been fatal if it had landed. Wind Becomes Lightning comes through now, and Weirly is looking to potentially get a fifth. Stitch drops low from the True Shot Barrage, but not low enough to be able to give another kill into the pocket of Wheelery here. Now, Sanguinius is close by. Wooden Spoon is not alone in this fight, but neither is Gertrude. Xin Zhao on the Grubs currently. Unstoppable Force will be used defensively. That's one Grub going the way of Fuse. Here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught here. Crescent Guard goes down. Wooden Spoon's going to be dropping low, but Gertrude's going to be the first to fall. Now that's the Orianna Orb going on to the Scion, dropping him down with the Shockwave. Emperor's Divide knocks around the Xin. It's going to be a double kill going into the hands of the Spoon. And I think he's licked up just enough. Stitch, you can't be getting that close. It's a double kill. Oh, and just when you think it might be going well for the Unicorns, guess what? There's an Ezreal here, definitely not Battle Academia, because he is stealing the hearts of many. And really, on his debut, is 6-0-0 on the Ezreal.
Hella locked in here. Yeah, I was very surprised they walked up there. I think... I don't want to sound negative at all, but yeah, I feel like that was maybe a little obvious.
Overly greedy, potentially.
How would you like to see the game developed from the side of Fuse here? What do you think the best option for them to accelerate their lead is?
Well, by the looks of things, asking the flat player the question, and I think this is an FF15. I think that it's in the best interest of Fuse to get the Ezreal into mid as soon as possible, just so that you can have the primary movement of the ADC to whichever objective is coming up. And then that way you're almost guaranteed to be able to win the fight because the carry is so much stronger. And in the meantime, potentially having the Orianna clear a side wave to keep pressuring on that 2 points of pressure.
Yeah, what I was thinking follows a similar vein there. I was thinking I want to see my Xin Zhao, if I'm on the side of Fuse, constantly in the enemy's blue side. I feel like they cannot respond. You're playing with the Ezreal, you're playing on his side. He's 6-0, he has Trinity Force to just the Longsword and Berserker Screws of Ashe. There's no problem. It's very small levels of risk.
Ocean Drake
and Dragon Stag, that should be obvious.
Yeah. Ashe has not learnt the lesson. We'll be taking a decent chunk. Wind Becomes Lightning follows over on the Sejuani, but he's not going to be able to take him over the wall. There's fighting coming alive. Drake's up in a minute 20 though, so a death here would not mean that you are out of the fight for the Drake, but it would mean that you lose a significant amount of pressure building.
Yeah, I'd like to see teams resetting here if possible. We've got the pushes out.
Ashe Arrow! Ryan gets hit. Emperor's Divide's going to be coming in potentially. It is there, but guess what? There's a Malphite coming in. It's a beautiful Unstoppable Force to keep the Orianna alive. Oh, Sanguinius is going to be able to come over the wall. That's going to be the Frozen Tomb going down.
It's the cold front from the east.
My goodness gracious me. So that is Orianna dead. Now this is a little bit of an even trade, but look in the top lane, Wooden Spoons claiming those turret plates in absence of Gertrude, and now with no ultimate, no quick way to kind of get both Spoon and this wave all in one go. However, the Spoon is going to be taking a turret shot initially. It's just going to be an absolute fist fight coming through here. Hollow Radiance is the item that Spoon has opted to go for first. Does trigger the turrets rather quickly in these fights, so it's going to be taking extra damage from that, as Stitch might be caught out here, lost in the Echo Ball. The flash is a little bit mediocre, and Wheelie. Wheelery really making a statement in this game. 7-0. Some call him James Bond. I call him the next best ADC. As right now,
I
Fuse
honestly thought you were going to say
seat.
Bond James then, because his score is 7-0.
I was debating it. But it would have fell flat. Bond James.
I do like the approach here from Fuse to swap Ezreal to mid, even though the mid laners haven't finished the quest yet. Because I honestly think finishing the quest on mid lane isn't something you need to rush as fast as possible. Obviously, it's nice.
They did get rid of the. They did get rid of the enhanced.
They got rid of the recall. Yeah, the fast recall.
Would you say that that's like a very? Would you say that's the most meaningful change, like, about it? Like, does that make it so that it's more easy for mid laners to branch out?
So, I honestly feel like the reason why it was changed. Okay, cleanse burnt from Wheelery here. Yeah, I feel like the reason it was changed was that a lot of tanks were very, very strong mid lane with the upgraded boots, with the short lane, with the ability to wave flare. That they needed to take something away from them and kind of incentivize you to go more traditional mages and assassins mid lane. So I think they traded out the recall for extra AD and AP for that exact reason. I think people are sleeping on Silent Med. Not gonna lie.
I do want to actually ask you about the newest addition to the shoe wear that we've seen, the Omnivamp boots, the gluttonous greaves. For me, I think personally, I'm not too keen on them. I think it's a little bit, like the item says, it's a little bit greedy to go for them. I think it's much safer going for more defensive boot variety, but then again, I'm plat, so what's your thoughts on the new boots?
I feel like they're, like most new things that get added to the game, I think they're too widely bought, but a lot of people will just be testing out what it feels like to have those boots. I feel like they are a bit overrated, but I think there are some champs that really like the Omnivamp feel. I'm just going to talk about the boots in general, not just the mid lane upgrades.
Yeah.
But the boots in general. I think the Omnivamp can feel really nice on some champions that can't get it really early, or that don't really have a boot that they really, really need. But a lot of the time I see it bought on mages that would just do more damage with the pen boots or the CDR boots than they would with the 5% increased damage of the mid lane version, for example. So yeah, I think they do have a place, but I do think they're overbought at the moment.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, but we might potentially be seeing a fight here. Gertrude going to be caught out there by Sanguinius. It's going to get locked down there by the Karma root, and Wheelery throwing some things around, but not enough to take this boar down. Currently with the heart still, but oh, Echo managed to find it. That's going to be the unstoppable force. It comes the Encore. It only lands onto the Malphite. Only the rock is enchanted by the Seraphine. And now Wheeler going to be potentially in a bit of danger, but never mind. Call an ambulance, but for actor Dave, because he is going to have to reset now. No ability for Wheelie to be able to try and catch them out, bar a very eager Arcane Shear forward as Ryan looks to try and take the spoon down, but with that holiday,
I feel like this is one of those players where we're just forcing the Scion out, making sure that he can't contest this Herald. Because we've got no other timer really to think about our Orianna ult. We're not going to miss it for Drake. Drake's not up for another 80 seconds. So I think it's quite good to use your ult there.
Yeah, we did actually see Fuse take an advanced approach onto the Scion in top lane around that top jungle entrance to the blue side. Altered out. We did see Echo try and actually body block the unstoppable onslaught to try and catch out a kill onto Wooden Spoon. Luckily was able to escape. So it is a victimless fight, but you can definitely say that Fuse very much come out on top in the end.
I like to see what they've done here. I like that they realise that Drake's coming up in the next minute. They swap their Orianna to the side of the map where Drake is. They send their Malphite to fix the side lane. And he rotates over to cover mid as the Drake is spawning. I do think he could have took one more wave.
Oh, Ash Arrow,
the idea
really going to be hit here. Unstoppable
no
Force goes
yet.
in.
No cleanse.
Oh, the cleanse is not available. Cleanse has just come up. That might be the Unicorns missing their opportunity to be able to get a free kill onto the Ezreal. We're going to see Echo go in here, catch out the Ashe, but now having to kite back onto the Scion. Emperor's Divide is only going to be able to land onto Gertrude, but it does manage to confirm the kill. Wheelery going to be dealing a lot of damage, but is shut down by the Azir. Actor Dave is within an inch of his life, but it's just Ryan against the world. Potentially throwing here is the Unicorns, as they are not healthy. It's a 4-4-1 in favour of the Unicorns, potentially just getting a little bit caught out there with the Frozen Tomb from the Sejuani. And it was a nice little hit there onto Wheelery in a follow-up from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They hit the Ezreal and it was all go for the Unicorns.
I was quite surprised there. I don't think they quite, on the side of Unicorns, I don't think they quite had the damage to finish the Ezreal off, but I feel like the Ezreal and Karma were trying too hard to win the fight and not just to get out and not give those bounties over. So rightfully punished for a bit of greediness potentially there.
Yeah, a little bit
and
too
the
gluttonous
dragon stacking has been stopped.
Yeah, I think
dragon stacking has been stopped.
this is the chance that Unicorns were looking for, but hey, it wouldn't be a good competitive game if it wasn't at least a little bit entertaining. Mid tier 1 is going to end up going down there to the Herald. We have seen the bot tier 1 go as well. Yes, and top tier 1 too. Just making sure that the overlay is providing the correct information. Just letting it do its thing. Now, let's talk items, because everyone now has picked up their first item, bar Gertrude, who opted to build the Balmy Cinder into the Warden's Mail before building anything else. Anything that you notice, like any kind of thing that you would see as an improvement? I'm mainly looking at this Sejuani with the Heartsteel. I feel like it might be a bit over eager.
I feel like the Heartsteel is alright. I was kind of expecting it to come through once I saw that Sejuani was rocking the grass. It kind of reminds me of the Skarner setups, where a Skarner would take grasp and rush immediately into that Heartsteel. I think the items are pretty decent on both sides at the moment. The only thing that remains to be seen, rather, is if they can actually get through the Scion, because as this game goes on, they don't really have constant DPS, and Ezreal isn't going to do as much damage as a traditional ADC to the Scion. So,
do you think it has to be a Lord Dominic's Regards coming through here for Wheelery?
I think it could be, but I always lean a little more towards the Sorodas, but honestly, I could see it coming through.
Do you think something like the Black
I can see it. I don't think it's bad at all. I feel like usually on the Xin Zhao jungle or on your Jarvan, on your Pantheon, you want to get 3 items and then you want to stop farming your jungle. Those 3 items are usually Sunder Sky, GA, and 1 extra. Something like Death Dance second or Sterax, based on what the enemies are and what champ you're playing.
Well, I got my answer right there, as we do see Echo picking up.
I don't mind the Black Cleaver at all. Don't mind it at all.
That's going to make both the Sejuani and Scion have a significantly harder life, as it is going to be Unending Despair picked up second for the Sejuani. So now it's kind of that sort of period where there's not all too much going on. Unicorns did manage to deny the Soul Rush from Fuse, so a little bit less pressure on this next Drake is definitely a welcome addition to the Unicorn side. But how can they look for a fight here, either side? Because I think it's harder for Fuse to find the angle. Obviously, with the Scion and the Ash Arrow, you do have some incredibly good engage tools. Not seeing all too much come through here from either side.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a bit of a lull at the moment. We've got a minute and a half
Go
till
on.
Drake. So...
Make my day.
Oh, and just as I speak.
Gonna have to interrupt you there. It's gonna be a beautiful combination coming through here from the Malphite Orion. It's gonna be the Shockwave taking down one. Seraphine down, Sejuani down. There's only one S left, and it's this Spoon in top lane.
Looking onto the Baron now. I think this should be a free Baron, but the Azir is still alive
is still
and
available.
is packing. If Sion can cause enough disruption for this Azir to hit, maybe it's difficult.
Spoon misses the unstoppable onslaught, and Spoon goes low. Ash going to be knocked up here. He's going to be locked down. Echo picks up that kill. Nesta Actidave having to go on the back foot. Decimating Smash is going to be able to stop the Xin Zhao from progressing any further. They did stop the Baron, but it's not going to be enough. Fuse.
This does mean that Sedge will be alive for this Baron, though. Can she make it over in time? I'm not quite sure. I don't think she can, actually.
Although
she can.
Fused have slightly slowed down. There's a TP coming through. Very late smite, but it is a smite nonetheless. And Fuse just going to be able to back out. We do see the full reset, so they are all on the same timer, except for Gertrude, who has decided to change that.
I'm getting a news report from the Open Qualifiers. Diamond 4 gamers have won their first match. Leifeng and Gang have won their first game.
Did they start at the same time? Oh, yes, they did. Oh, wait, everyone started at the same time. I'm dumb. I'm slightly stupid in it, but we'll try and get the like the results from all the other games, because I feel like that'd be a very cool thing to have on like the between games.
Yeah, of course. We can. Have you got the Open Qualifiers link for the sheets? I can send it to you if not. Yeah, I can send it to you.
Oh.
Okay, so Fuse have got Baron. I want to see them use this Baron on 2 lanes. I don't really like that we're playing a bit split away from each other at the moment. This pick onto the Azir looks good though.
But not good enough. Actidave able to act his way out. Guess he was definitely a master of disguise.
Exit stage right, it seems.
Now, did you know?
Sorry,
usually the. Well, I'm trying to remember because usually the bad guys exit off stage right because we read right to left. It makes it look like they're coming off the way that the good guys come in. Did you know that fact? That's what 3 years and an acting degree get you. Anyway, back to the game.
I feel like I've done 3 years of an acting degree now. Thank you.
That's all you get. 4k gold in the advantage for the team Fuse here. Still with the Baron, but they're not really using it to pressure much of the lanes here. Instead, they're going to be looking for the fight here. Echo goes in a little bit deep. It's going to be the Crescent Guard to be able to try and get him out, but he's going to get locked up. Double time here from the Sejuani Sion. Unstoppable onslaught. This is really bad. Shutdown is the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, I don't really understand if on the side of Fuse with Baron why we're not playing with waves here. I feel like if we push our waves up, then as a team we can take over that quadrant of the jungle, not doing it without any push, without any pressure.
And that is now a very crucial Baron gone. And it's not up for too much longer. Second Drake did go to Unicorns, so again, that soul is probably not going to be a factor this game, as we'd need to wait at least another 10 minutes. And I don't think these guys have another 10 minutes in the tank. I'm expecting one.
Yeah, the soonest we can see is about 8 minutes from now, and even then, that's only if the same team gets both of them.
Yeah, and that's
I don't really see happening. Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Now, if we look at kind of pivotal points in this, we're starting to see these third items come online for various champions across the board, as we do see an Emperor's Divide. It's going to be the Orianna lockdown. Ryan potentially in a bad spot. Shockwave manages to catch 2, but it's a shutdown going into the pocket of the Azir. That's going to be crucial for getting the Rabadon's death cap. Nice little unstoppable force there. Ezreal's coming through. Actidave might have to disengage here. Keep it to yourself. Ashero's going to go wide, but it's Gertrude picking up that kill. Unlucky for the Azir. The rock is better than the pigeon, it seems. And now Fuse taking this chance to get some footing on the map. Mid-tier 2 does go down, but it's just these 3 members of Fuse remaining, so they are all in vision. So Unicorns can sit in relative safety, knowing that there is a very unlikely chance of having to skirmish in their own jungle. But
I feel like a lot of this game has been looking on the sides for picks and the other team not really getting much out of the pressure sent to their sides.
yeah.
I feel like they committed resources bot to deal with the Oriana, and we don't really get that much across the map. We're fixing top wave, we got the tier 2 mid, but is that all? I feel like we could have done a little more of it.
Was a very sort of not long engagement because the Oriana did die quite quickly, but it was definitely not a fast 2 kills. But now death
Yeah.
cap for the Azir. Oriana
Yeah,
just
this is
on
the
2
point I was looking
items.
at earlier. It was
Ezreal has
exactly when you talk
4.
about third items. I mean,
Ezreal's
that's
on
Ezreal for you. I assume rocking the cashback on ADC right now, very useful.
Oh, a weird look at there for Sanguinius. Isn't going to lose all too much HP outside of the Ezreal Q, ticking him down a little bit. But that was a very brave dash in there from the Sejuani, as it might potentially get even worse. Drake's up in 35 seconds, so we're now into that window where a death here means you are dead for the Drake spawn.
I do like what Fuse are doing here. They pushed the mid wave, they dealt with it, they got prior, and they walked into the lake together, into the river together.
Oh, Encore comes through. It misses everyone. It's a beautiful
big
shockwave. It's going to be able
combo.
to... Stitch goes down. Ash Arrow does manage to connect, and there's going to be a double CC onto Wheelie. Currently being dove by both lots of tanks. Flashes will be exchanged. Echo falls on the backline, but the Azir is too strong. Takes down 2, takes down 3. It's a triple kill for Actor Dave. Wooden Spoon now is going to be in the front line. The Ezreal just gets caught by the decimating smash, and he does go down, but they do need to be very cautious here. This is still an Oriana. Might only be 2 items, but still a force to be reckoned with. But that's going to be Fuse losing the fight, and this is going to be sole point for a Unicorn side who have now evened out the gold.
I honestly feel like Unicorns are the favourites now that the game has got to this state. The Azir is pumping, and the front line is doing a great job of creating space. You saw the Xin Zhao that dove into the backline there. There's no way that anyone could follow up with him because they were just zoned off by the Sejuani and by the Sion. I think the game's going to get really hard now for the side of Fuse.
They need to look for a Malphite ult onto this Azir, and even if they do manage to catch it, the Seraphine can keep him alive. They are going to look to try and defend this, but the Baron is already gone.
I think it's quite tricky now. We'll have to see what they do about this situation. Can they dig themselves out this proverbial hole?
Unicorns, for the first time in this game, have the gold lead. Now, what can they do with it? One crucial thing is if there is a single bad 5v5 for the Unicorns, this gold lead swings so heavily in favor. Look at the bounties currently available. I mean, between the top and jungle, that is 900 gold alone. On top of the extra 300 killed, you'd be expecting to get, what is that, 1500? If you manage to kill both of those frontliners? Approximately.
It's hard to say, really. Oh, by the bounties, yeah. About that, yeah, about 1500.
Hard to tell. Riot keeps changing the amount that bounties are worth, and for some reason they just disappear sometimes.
I completely forgot that they had bounties, so I was thinking, oh, it depends what the gold income has been in X amount of minutes, blah, blah, blah.
But I think the one that you're really looking for if you are on the Fuse team is that juicy 600 that you could get from the killing Actor Dave. Got like a wanted poster out for him. Sanguinius does take a decent chunk of damage, but thanks to being Sejuani, isn't going to be taking all too much damage. Now, Wooden Spoon is going to be able to pop the unstoppable onslaught, as now it looks like the Unicorns are just looking to pressure wherever they can and disengaging the moment things get a little bit too hot. And would you say that's the correct way to play here?
I feel like, again, we're not using the Baron as well as could be here. I'm glad that they are actually pressuring the map and that they're getting something. But I feel like they'd be getting a lot more and a lot more efficiently if they just played 2 lanes here. If I was them, I'd take my turn on the top and mid lanes, and then base, reset, and take my turns on the mid and bot lanes, which leads you straight into the Dragon Soul afterwards. I feel like that's probably the best way of playing it. We've got the Banshee's Veil on the Azir. I was thinking it might be Zombies when I saw the needlessly large rod. It turns out it's Banshees, so you really don't want this Azir to get Oriana ulted or Malphite ulted out of the blue. In that last fight, we had the Black Cleaver, we had the Sorodas on Ezreal, and Sana Sejuani was still not taking any damage.
Yeah, it was a little bit
I think it's going to be
separated
hard for
though.
them.
Fuse.
We'll have to see what it looks like when Ezreal hits a Q on a tank. We'll have to see what the damage is,
Now,
because it's looking a bit rough.
the Scion hasn't built armor. Oh, full-on engage here onto the Orianna. Ryan is going to be knocked down. That's 3 ults in exchange. It's not the quickest execute onto the Orianna, but it is still a kill. Now,
Yeah, the
what do we
Scion does
see?
have pretty much only magic resist other than the steel caps. However, Ezreal does do a fair amount of magic damage too, so there'll be some use in it.
This is very, very dicey for both teams. This goes down. It might potentially be game-ending. Stitch
Sion's
just throwing
picking up the
in.
bot wave as well. Now they're playing the two lanes I was talking about.
They're playing this
They
numbers
don't even have
advantage
Baron
as
anymore
well.
either.
Now, Echo is going to be able to clear this wave relatively easily. He's going to try his luck on Spoon here. Oh, but look at the damage that the Scion is doing.
Ooh. I'm quite surprised that Sion didn't greed for the Demolish proc. Maybe I'm just too greedy, but I feel like I might have greeded a bit there.
Greedy chud over here.
Yeah, but quite potentially.
Oh, we are going to see all 3 members of the Unicorn squad resetting. Will it be a full team reset ready for this Drake? We shall wait and see. Lord Dominic's regards now picked up here for the Ashe, building into that Infinity Edge. Oh, this is one of those nerve-wracking fights. It all depends on how well Fuse play it. Sanguinius is able to kind of just walk in here. Does manage to go through. Orianna going to be the target. Ryan is going to be CC'd now. Looking through. It's a beautiful shockwave into the Unstoppable Force. Stitch is going to be able to escape, and he manages to land the Encore. 2 charm. Gertrude goes down, and now it's all in on to the back line of Fuse. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to be able to take down the Karma. Sanguinius too low to fight. Ashe takes down. It's a double kill for him. Flash forward. The Azir picks up that kill onto Wheelery, and he had such a fantastic game. Orianna's going to attempt to do a base race, but it might be a little bit too late, as right now Unicorns definitely on the front foot. This will be crazy if Ryan is able to get this, basically. I don't think it's possible. It is now resetting, so it isn't going to be a possible base race.
Yeah, we need to summon the spirit of Yamakaze's Shen and hope that they hit the Vlad and not the Nexus here, but I think it's all but doomed.
Oh, Emperor's Divide to kind of seal the deal. It was started off so great, but the Azir got too far ahead, and now the Unicorns will take their first Nexus open. The Nexus does go open, and it's not exactly a slow burn. Goes down quickly. Unicorns win their game 1 as we move back to...
I honestly feel like that game was looking really good. I think it was that mid-fight where the Azir gets the 2 shutdowns that really made the game tricky, and then the Baron situation was the final nail in the coffin, really.
Right, so now what we are waiting for is we should be going into +1's games against All Eyes on Gav. Potentially, I think. I am awaiting some form of confirmation from somebody. Anybody, please.
Okay. So let's see what the next round's games are. They've already been posted. So Fuse, who we've just seen play, are going to be playing against Cambridge Hextex, who took a loss in their first game to Arrakis Esports. And now for +1, who we'll be watching next, are playing against Abyssal Randoms, which I believe is a team with Influentic on it.
In which case I need to change my graphic. I really shouldn't have done this as a PowerPoint. This is high quality content, ladies and gentlemen. This one. Let's have a look. Abyssal.
Yeah, Very, very cool. Very interesting. Oh,
We're only
I
doing
do
this
honestly
on the
feel
fly.
for the side of Fuse there when everything looks so good and then it just slips through your fingers.
There we go. +1 versus Abyssal Random. So if you are actually here for +1, welcome. We're finally doing that thing. I'm going to quickly update the stream. Just so that it is all accurate. And there we go. All done. Look at that. Incredible quality there.
That's
Now,
one versus Abyssal Randoms.
yes, indeed. Now,
So Abyssal Randoms has a mid laner called Influentic, and I've played with him before. I think he's a very good player. He's a very experienced player as well. I think he was a 500 plus LP Masters, maybe even Grandmaster, quite a few splits ago. Back when getting 500 LP was a really, really incredible achievement, and not just something that anyone that's played 300 games seems to randomly get now. But this guy, very, very good player. I'm excited to watch him play. It's been a while.
uh,
I love the production on the fly. You're doing a great job.
there's. Oh wait, hang on. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. Boom. There we go. I've been able to add. Come on, let me move it properly. So that is the results of the game ones. Um, there we go.
Wow.
Round one. Look at that.
Other than the buy round, all the winners were on the left. I think that's really funny to say. I don't believe this was a seeded open qualifiers like it normally is. So that's just chance, complete chance.
Yeah, there's a couple of names that we recognise. Obviously, HL, Towery Academy, and Emrys Academy are the rosters, which are the academy partners of the Div 2, the current Div 2 teams. But
But I
obviously,
mean, for
the
Emrys, they're in
classic.
the relegations right now, so it might not be for long.
Oh yeah, no, they are, aren't they?
They are.
How
They are.
funny would it be if Emrys Academies took Emrys' spot?
That would be absolute cinema, as the kids say.
That would be peak. Of course, D4G, absolute goats. Diamond 4 gamers. Was
Yeah, shout out
actually
my boys. Shout out my boys.
Lei Feng effect. If you all remember, back eons ago, the first Div 3 finals that I casted was TFG versus D4G, and Lei Feng was
Yeah,
on
I remember
that
playing
roster
that.
there.
It was the most fun I've had playing with a proper team. I think I'll always remember the experience with the lads there. And yeah, I'm so happy we won. But just to win with those guys.
Is there a way to see the VOD for this stream? There will be. There will be. After the stream is done, I will make sure that the VOD is uploaded. It will be uploaded after the +1 games are like after all 3 rounds are finished. So just bear that in mind. But the VOD for game 1 will be online, basically. Yes.
Yeah, I think whilst we are streaming +1 second and third games of today, obviously their first game did, just as a reminder, get cancelled and they were given the win because the other team were not available to play. We will be keeping you up to date on D4G Diamond 4 Gamers results as well.
I have the whole spreadsheet open. What I can actually do is if I do it, does it work if I scroll across? No, it doesn't. Essentially, what I've done is I have gotten the I've just gotten a snippet of the Google Doc. Well, actually, no. I've done a browser source of the Google Doc, so in theory, it should update when it gets updated. But I've realised that this is
sounds
just
great.
round 1, so
This is round 1. Can you scroll across at all? I'm not too familiar with the technology that's at play right now.
No, that makes it bigger. So, like, you can see the tail end of it there.
Do you know what the lineup is for today's +1 team? Because obviously they've got quite a few subs on the bench. I believe I know what it is, but I'd just rather make it sure, because if we're talking about scenarios in draft and then it turns out it's not those players, then
so
it changes things.
The roster is Teal from the +1 roster. He's been demoted. New signing 333, who I will just be referring to as 333. Amalia, same as before. Belial and Shorty. So same mid bot duo, same mid bot players.
Trio is the word.
Trio. I don't know why I didn't want to say the word trio. I was going to say duo for some reason. It's just like
it feels weird saying trio when it's a 2 and a 1. It's like, are you just the third wheel in this? Exactly. Is Amalia just
Amalia's third wheeling Belial and Shorty.
Belial and Shorty have a great relationship, so I'm not surprised.
Oh wait, I can
shout out my goats if you're here.
Wait, I can. I figured it out. I need to do that. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. As you can see.
Do you want to put that at the top or the bottom? I feel like that's amazing.
I'm going to do this. And okay. Oh.
I like it.
Joe, please don't fire me. Okay. Look at that! Okay.
That is pretty Bobby Dazzler.
Okay, wait. I don't want to change something. Is there something that I can really subtly change they won't realise? To test it?
You won't be able to. It's a view-only doc.
What? I guess we'll find out when the second games go underway.
What I will tell you, however, is the Super Sparkly Unicorns have got a bye in the second round. So they are currently 2-0 and the winning team for today at the moment.
Oh.
Because obviously all eyes on Gav have dropped out.
Oh. It appears that they have indeed. Interesting. That is unfortunate circumstances. Now, while I continue to try and work out how to get the entire... There we go. We got all 3 on the screen now.
It might be the goats.
Oh. Chat, you need a tech guy? Don't hire me. It's a bad idea. We are just... So, okay. What we are waiting on, ladies and gentlemen, just so yeah, it stays on that as well, even if I go off the tab. Wait, if I close it, does it? I've never tried this before. This is the first time we tried it, and it's worked. Holy sugar honey iced tea.
Maybe it will only update when you reopen it, perhaps. Maybe that's how it works.
No, because the chat is a browser source. It's an online browser source that I can change. So it should just update when things change.
Wow! I didn't know we were in the big leagues like that.
The big leagues are calling. If there's space for it, actually, I'll save it for this screen. I won't have it on the in-game screen, just so there's not like random stuff updating. And
so what we need to make sure is that you get an invite to the lobby. Have you had one yet?
That is absolutely correct, and I have not.
Okay, time to bully. If anyone from +1 is here, invite my boy Tintus to the lobby, please, if you can.
I dropped my slinky spring. This is the worst possible timeline. Oh.
That's okay.
Oh.
I think I just heard an invite. Yeah, Bilal is the one I DM'd. Big respect to Blow.
Let me join this.
Okay. Wise Traveller is here, and so is 3x3.
Don't mind me. Just I dropped something.
I like the Game Boy you've got there.
Thank you. It's
Cool.
a Lego Game Boy. My mother bought it for me. She was
Your
saving it.
mum's the goat.
She was saving it as a graduation gift, but she is awful at like holding gifts. Like, as
Yeah,
in,
I'm awful at that kind of thing too.
like she buys something for me and she's like, I can't wait to give it to you. I just have to give it to you.
Yeah, I know.
Full
I might
respect.
be your mum, bro. I'm the exact same. I might be your mum.
Mother?
Genuinely, I get so. I remember a couple of years back, I bought my girlfriend a present I was really, really happy with. And I waited a whole 24 hours before I told her. And this was in October and it was for Christmas. I cannot keep a secret like that. I just get too excited.
My worst one is when you buy someone a present and then like in passing, they see it and they're like, I don't really like that. It's the it's awful. It's
yeah,
awful.
that's kind of peak, isn't it? That's rough. I like the friend tabs reorder. Why wait that one on that guy? Okay.
I don't know half of these people.
That's fine.
Who is this?
I'm excited to get into game 2. Sorry, we're both laughing at someone on Tim's friend list called Nissan Maniac 43. It's quite a funny name to see.
Yeah, they are the Diamond 1 now. So
Not bad.
a lot. I've just realised, like, a lot of these people are gonna be from when I was in the uni league team, and because I was the captain, I would be the one who like sent all the friend requests.
Oh wow, I see. Do you play
is
much of that anymore?
No. No.
We need to get Timps on a team. We need a casting team. Team of casters. What's that face for?
I'm trying to work out what Hacksaw's just said.
Why do I feel like it's the name of the cat or something? Belial Sama. Let's see. We should have known the Belilahs are coming.
All that I'm getting is
the Girthers.
Boxers.
It's about Belial, you know?
Okay, great. Finally, someone has sent me a goddamn draft link.
Sweet.
Right, there we go. Wait.
So
there we go.
I honestly think this is probably the... I'm just going to double check round 1 before I say this. I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, I think this might be the strongest tie or matchup that we've had so far in terms of team strength.
Well, great. Well, guess what we're here to do? We are here to provide the best coverage, and only the best coverage, with the best technical prowess, and of course, the handsomest mid laner. And
Real.
YOON.
Still real.
Could you... So, with playing League, I can only play 2 roles, and it's what a lot of people would call the 2 easiest roles. Jungle is more mentally difficult than physically difficult. I feel like ADC is the one where you have to worry about the least amount of things.
I love the concept of physically difficult, and then just imagining someone like sweating and panting while playing. Like, it's really just quite demanding on the physique.
Hacksaw, I'm plat now. Get fucked. I'm plat now. Granted, I'm plat 4-0
To be
in
fair,
LP.
you actually might be the highest caster that I know in terms of rank that I know personally.
Yeah. Casters aren't good at the game. We're just good at talking a lot.
It's a talent. It's a talent for sure.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I could play Skarner and Malphite every game in jungle, I would probably be Grandmaster. Oh, okay. Well, we are into draft already. Never mind.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You did pop off in our Clash games, but yeah, we're into draft.
Yeah.
The Ari ban coming through to be
That's
expected.
an
Amalia's
Amalia
best
staple.
champ is Ari.
That is
TF
also an
ban for
Amalia ban.
Influentic. Yeah, Neferi again for Amalia.
Is it?
Really, we really hate Amalia in this draft right now.
If they ban Shyvana, then you know. Then you know.
I don't know how much Abyssal randoms will know about the tech. You see, obviously she does fight in solo queue, but do they think that she's gonna pick it in a competitive game? Because the answer is yes.
I mean, I know she will pick it, but I don't think they're gonna cover it. Seraphine take out that. Okay, we're not having talent in this game, right? They are very clear on that fact.
Okay, so yeah, looks like we're banning Seraphine on the side of +1. We're worried about the Ash Seraphine coming up. Obviously, Shorty on the side of +1, a very proficient Seraphine player, likes playing Seraphine.
It's one of his favorite champions, though.
And he's not playing at this game.
Why? What's with the insta locking here, randoms? Do we just now? Okay, hang on a sec. This is a very good thing to look at. Are +1 likely to pick away the Ezreal here? Or do they let the randoms get the Ezreal Karma combo in exchange for something better? What would you do here?
I personally feel like taking Ezreal away will just lead to them playing something like Caitlyn Karma. I'm not sure if that's the right idea, but Bilal is very good at Ezreal. As we see the Ezreal coming through, he is easily one of the more capable Ezreal players. Obviously, I think that champion is incredibly difficult to play well and consistently well throughout the entirety of a game. But I think Bilal can do it. So usually I don't like this, but I don't mind it for him.
I do want to ask as a potential response pick for the into the Ezreal Karma. Is Aphelios ever a likely option to get picked up? We do see Rakan come through.
Against Karma in general?
Yes.
I think you can pair it with Engage into Karma.
I'm thinking something like Aphelios.
You're never going to win the lane, really, I think. Yeah, you can do that, but I just don't think it's favoured right now. So we see the Smolder coming through.
Oh,
obviously,
boy.
Smolder with the Deatheye Touch Black Cleaver interaction, very strong, very popular at the moment.
Yeah, this will definitely be a difficult game to start off with, as it's just power pick after power pick. Karma, Smolder, Xin Zhao.
What did we say? Enchanter plus Xin Zhao.
Yeah, this is
really
exactly
strong
what
combo.
we saw from Fuse. It did end up falling, but big difference. We have ditched the Twink and we've replaced it with a dragon. So as you can
Amalia is sad that she can't be the one to bring out the first dragon of Open Qualifiers.
Yeah, but you never know. She might bring out the second one in this draft. Viego gets locked in, likely into the hands of 333.
Yep, 333, very, very capable on the Viego.
Very nice, very nice.
Some say he mains the champion.
Some would say. Whenever I saw his name, I was like, oh my god, it's that guy who was on Astralis, 113. No.
I just thought it was a dyslexic Jin main, but turns out no.
Right. Second lot of bans. What are we expecting to be taken away? We do see the Aurora come through as the first +1 ban. What does that kind of indicate to you that +1 wants to pick on this?
An Aurora ban?
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not actually sure what other champions Influentic is playing at the moment other than TF. So I'm intrigued to see what they actually will ban off of him. But usually when I see Aurora ban, I think they're looking for like an Ari and Orianna. Obviously, I don't think Amalia is the sort of person to pick Orianna. So I'm not actually sure what to expect here. Not actually sure.
There's a hen taken off the cards as well. Could it potentially be an Aatrox come through here for Teal in top?
Well, Teal, I'm not sure how much he's playing with Aatrox. I think Teal's the sort of person to fancy himself on Diana in any sort of situation.
That feels like an
and rightly so. He's very good at it. But
That feels like all coverage taking
yeah,
well away
it
as
does feel
well.
like they're playing. Does feel like they're going to play Ornn on the opposite side. Makes sense
Do
with the
you
team
counter?
comp they've
Do you
got.
just take it away now?
I don't think Teal's going to end up playing Ornn. I feel like
Mm.
he's happy if they go Ornn because he's got the Fiora in the bag.
Oh,
That's what they might not think about.
It's gonna
Oh
take the
wait,
Scion actually. So they're giving
I,
counter pick to Amalia. Does
I'm
this
I'm
mean?
thinking. I weirdly think this might be mid.
Oh dear. You did
Potentially,
mention it
potentially.
last game. You did mention about the Scion
It could be,
potentially coming
but
through. And it does keep that top lane flex. So if the Ornn does come through and we see a Fiora picked,
yeah.
oh
Teal
boy.
is very good at the Scion. I think what Teal does well on the Scion is that he understands that he is a more low resource champ, and he is very good at moving around the map and playing for his team. So,
What
Anivia
would you
are
pick?
very good at cooking the Scion. Into Anivia, if I'm Amalia, I would probably end up playing AP Cog this game. I think it does pretty well to close the gap between yourself and Karma as well. I'm going to assume the Scion is actually going top now, the more I think about it. But I think this is going to be AP Cogma.
I'm guessing the pause is between Amalia and the coach, like fighting back and forth as to what to pick. Oh, well,
It's
that's.
playable. It's playable. It's unique. I know Molly is capable. I think she's a very good player,
I
but
know I was
I've not
talking
seen
about it
Syndra in a
earlier.
while. Mm.
So interesting that it's come up. Why are you listening, Amalia? Stop stream sniping. Bad, naughty, naughty. In
Not me.
terms of overall comps, we are seeing very similar to the Fuse against Unicorns game. Obviously, the Viego has been omitted for the Viego. Wait, no. The Sejuani has been omitted for the Viego. But overall, in your opinion, which draft would you prefer to play with?
I feel like it's quite interesting because I think the left team comp from the Abyssal Randoms can control space a lot better. But I think in terms of playing with the Viego and getting a reset, I think that the +1 comp does a very good job of that. You've got Syndra ult for that upfront damage. You've got the ability to play backwards with Ezreal behind your frontliner, Rakan's pick potential. I'd actually rather play, even though it's a little trickier to play, in my opinion, the +1 comp. I
Yeah.
do think randoms have an easier to play comp, and I think Smolder is very overpowered at the moment because of Death Fire Touch and the Splat Cleaver interaction. But
Mm.
I do quite like what +1 are trying to do into it, so we'll see what happens.
Now, I want to think to the start of this draft, as in like reshaping of the draft. Now, with obviously the Smolder being as popular as it is, do you think that it's worth possibly taking it away early on, or is there something that is so incredible into it that it's not like it's like picking Malphite when Silas is open? Is it one of those kind of situations, or do you think teams should
Yeah,
just
I
wait it
feel
out?
like there are good ways of dealing with Smolder, but not that many that don't make your team comp a little difficult to play. A lot of the things that deal well with Smolder are things that like to play towards the sides or like to play for picks, but I think a lot of teams don't really opt into playing for picks at the moment in the current meta. Um, I just think Smolder's one of those champs because of the strength of this patch that you kind of forget exists until it's picked, and then you think, "Oh, why didn't we ban this? Why didn't we consider this in the first place?" At least that's how I feel all the time.
Yeah, he is getting adjusted in the next patch. It will not completely remove the interaction, but it will definitely try and dampen its strength. But even isolated from that, I still think Smolder will definitely hold a very decent place in the meta, as he did on his release.
I will be right back.
And
I will be right back.
and as YOON must take a little bit of a leave, we're just waiting for spectate delay before we get into game. But let us know, who do you think won the draft? What do you think is going to happen? And welcome all of you to the +1 round 2 against Abyssal Randoms. You can see at the top of your screen the matches that have happened, the matches that are underway. As you can see, All Eyes on Gav have dropped out, so that is why Super Sparkly Unicorns have gotten a bye round. +1 also got the bye round. in game 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, who's here for it? Who is here to watch Belial's birth absolutely demolish the landscape on Ezreal? And who's just here to have a nice time? So, spectate delay is... Yep, spectate delay is now officially counting down. Approximately 3-ish minutes, maybe slightly longer, just because of actually getting into the loading screen and all of that jazz. But ladies and gentlemen, we are back with +1. It's been a while. Last time we saw them, they were eliminated from playoff contention. Not playoff contention, from the playoffs of that Div 2. The Div 3 playoffs. There's two teams. They both have the word one in them, and it's very hard to... I get them mixed up quite often. But we're here. Just to give a little bit of insight as to the structure of... One moment, let me just get things open. As you can see, as my face has illuminated bright white. So, so the winners of the playoffs go to Div 2.
Yo, I'm back.
Oh, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Just talking through the structure of the Open Qualifiers. So these are Swiss games. So,
yeah.
Is it 2 and you're in? Or is it 3 and you're in? 3 wins and you're in?
So the way that it works is there's two different stages. Today and Thursday, we'll be dealing with the Swiss stage. To qualify for the next stage and get out of the Swiss, you have to either win all 5 of your games, win 4 games and lose 1, or win 3 games, lose 2, but win your tiebreaker. So the teams that go 3-2 by the end of the 5 games across today and Thursday will play each other for the last spots in the playoffs round, which is the next stage of Open Qualification.
So basically, 4 and you're in. 4 wins and you're in.
Yeah, 4 is a guaranteed in.
3
Today is all
tiebreaker.
about giving yourself the best chance for Thursday. For example, if you win all 3 games today, you can afford to lose both of your games on Thursday and you still have a tiebreaker. So winning 3 today, you can guarantee yourself a second chance. Even if you had a bad Thursday, you can guarantee a second chance.
Yeah, and actually one big positive is that I think is that there's going to be one team that doesn't get an automatic buy round by All Eyes on Gav dropping out. Is that mathematically correct? Because if is it 6? Yeah, you play 6 games. And
there'll be 5 games. The 6th one will be the tiebreaker. So we can assume the 6th one doesn't have a... I've not actually worked it out yet. It's exactly my kind of thing, but I've not worked it out yet.
So if we go through the list, so far, +1 and SSU have gotten a buy round through...
Yeah, what I can tell you is the same team cannot have 2 buys.
Yes, but I'm wondering, does one team miss out on a buy because of the nature of how many teams
at least one team will. At least one team will.
So that getting that buy round is very, very good, actually.
It's quite fortunate for sure. As you'll notice from that round 2, if you're a viewer, every team that won in round 1 will play another team that won in round 1, hence it being a Swiss stage, right? So the fact that they buy means that they will play a 2-0 team. So Super Sparkly Uniforms will play against potentially +1 if they win this game, or any of the teams that have already won if they manage to find another win. So bear that in mind.
It's slightly skewed because due to that buy round, so it is ever so slightly skewed. I believe one team will play a one winning team will play a losing team, but that is only due to the fact that there is an odd number. So,
Yeah, precisely.
We do have a slight pause before we actually get into game, which is for why there is an additional delay on top of all things considered. So we will get that all worked out. And thank you, League of Legends, for disabling my things yet again. As I'm hoping that this now works.
Certainly looks that way. Certainly looks that way.
Okay, thank goodness gracious me. Small indie company, 5.6 billion last time I checked, and I checked recently because of, obviously. Now, I do want to talk about something, and I do see it quite frequently. I don't know how much it matters or doesn't, but junglers buying potions. I'm in the ballpark of it not being worth it to buy a potion, and if you have to buy a potion, that's a bad jungle champion.
I feel like it depends if you're invading or getting invaded. I think if you are going for that early interaction, it's never really bad to have a pot. Wow, there's a Nivea heavy trade from Influentic. Also, this Full Clear Deluxe player was actually, I believe they were in, I want to say Div 3 or the last Open Qualifiers. I remember casting him before.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, I remember casting him before.
Full Clear Deluxe. That was the team that eliminated them.
Oh, it could.
It was the
It could have been
Hecarim.
top tier esports. Yeah.
It was the Hecarim, I'm pretty sure.
Could well have been.
Hecarim?
Could well have been. So let's look at the individual lanes here. We have Gnar has a very favourable lane top lane. Obviously, Teal, great player. But this
Stella
lane is going to be hard.
Okay, Belial is going to have some early aggression in combo with Shorty. That's horrific. Going to be dropping very low.
Got some very dark, twisted names on this bot lane for the side of Abyssal Randoms. Horrific and Hatred.
Yeah.
As opposed to the cutie batooties on the side of +1.
As opposed to the cutie batootie of Abel Corpse in top lane. Now, speaking of which, this is obviously Teal's +1 debut. Was the top lane up for -1. But since Manly Sam has been promoted, now...
It's Dog Nappy.
Dog Nappy? Oh, Dog Nappy.
Yeah.
Oh my... Manly Sam was a while ago, wasn't it?
That was a while ago,
Yeah.
but
Dog
shout out
Nappy.
Manly Sam. Shout out Manly Sam.
But Teal's somewhat demotion, somewhat stepping back from the main roster as we have another pause.
Yeah, I feel like Teal is doing a bit of a favour today more than anything, because I feel like if you're losing Dog Nappy to the main team and you're just looking for someone to fill that hole, Teal very kindly just doing it, you know.
Just to give some context, this will be a longer pause as it appears that Full Clear Deluxe has had a PC die.
Looks like he full cleared his PC too. Happens.
He full cleared his PC of. Okay, and also his cat is on fire.
Yeah, Karma's cat is having a stroke. I too like to give my cat a stroke. He's a very cute cat.
Yeah, not the cat that you see on screen. That is.
Yeah, it's not the cat
picture.
pictured. He is a black cat, however.
Yeah, that's YOON IRL right now. Just imagine a Team Spawn Peak jersey on that cat, and you've got YOON.
Yeah, hood up.
Okay, so the game has resumed. Expect there to be a slight spectator pause because I love League of Legends. And there it is. I do really like that
Everyone hitting the
Smolder's...
Black Beatles challenge.
So there's... I've only found this out because of how many times there's been a pause during me spectating a game. There are certain champion elements which are independent of the champion itself. For example, Smolder's tail and Aurelion Sol's tail will continue to move during a pause. Fun fact for you there. Or during a freeze. Not during a pause, during a freeze.
That's very interesting.
They are their own isolated elements, it seems. Oh, Amaliart does drop low, but does Influentic know that there is a 3-3 on the horizon. This is Teal now. In and about Unable Corpse, so no cigar just yet for either top laner. But this feels like
if you're Sion, you're happy to be in this position. You're nice and safe. The lane's on your side, so you can threaten a gang.
Oh, hello.
This is a pretty horrible. Oh,
debut +1. We can get the W back, as there is going to be a little bit of a trade coming through here. Horrific is to be able to sidestep the Essence Flux. So Belial's Birth now on the back foot. No Arcane Shift just yet. Full Clear Deluxe does show his face, but is going to be quickly blacking off like his screen, it seems. Worst pun I've ever done.
I like the look from Influentic. And the fact he went Ruby Crystal first tells me that this is probably going to be a tierless Anivia. Myself, I'm a big fan of tierless Anivia. I like the Roa Malignant setup, so great to see if he goes it.
Belial and Shorty, there's a little bit of dominance coming through from the bot lane here, as we are going to see Influentic take a decent chunk of damage. That Ruby Crystal already proving to be worth it, as the Anivia falls low. Does have the Ignivia, so would still get that kind of second chance. And with the nature of Syndra being very bursty, it'd be quite hard for Stella to be able to take down the Ignivia a second time.
I think you can almost trade the egg like that, so you can almost trade the egg for not needing to base. I feel like now he's a lot harder to deal with one-on-one for Syndra.
Yeah,
Nar committing, doesn't have ult.
No ult for the Nard. Does cancel the Decimating Smash, so Teal is low, but now the ult comes online. Stunned through. Teal in a bad spot here. Has got flash. Will it be flash to flash? No trade. Oh, but Teal goes... Oh, my goodness gracious me. Goes incredibly close there. So now, Able Corpse, is he going to be able to try and manage the damage here onto the Scion? As this might potentially be a kill. If he plays it right. No further
I think it's hard to dive the Scion when Scion has ult up, because again, if you are Gnar and you go to that tower and you get caught by the unstoppable onslaught, you are probably dying to that tower.
Yeah, but it'd be really funny, wouldn't it, Chad?
It would.
Really
oh, he has chunked him. Chunked him hella.
Now, looking on, Shorty was one of the standout performers on this +1 roster during their Division 3 playoff run. Can he continue the work here? Does go for a flash engage. It's going to be the Smolder who he catches out. Now has to back off, but guess what? 3-3 is here. Full Clear Deluxe is going to be diving onto Belial's Birth, and now here comes the Heartbreaker, Stone Shaker. Full Clear Deluxe gets taken down. Belial's Birth, get the first blood. Hatred now drops low. It's going to be Horrific's flash over the wall. It's going to be the Unleash Power. Goes on through. It's a triple kill here for Belial. 2 Ezreals in 2 games. And already we are seeing some incredible play from the Blonde Twinks.
So from the side of +1, let's hope that the Ezreal doesn't end up going the same way. Getting ahead and then falling a little flat as items came through. Lovely to see that go through to Belial. Really nice play. And again, they killed the first target. They got the Viego reset and they played from it. Oh, Niall's kind of flashed into no man's land here.
Interesting flash there. Is going to be able to manage to get the hop, skip, and a jump away. But is going to need to be cautious. Xin Zhao is waiting in the wings. Stella's going to take a decent chunk here from the combination of the Glacial Storm and the damage. There is no Unleashed Power, but there is a Rakan coming over the wall. It's going to be the knock up there onto Inflatuic. But it's going to be flashed away, and there's going to be a Karma into the middle there. Hatred is here. Stella goes down. And Influentic manages to pick up that first kill. No way does he get the second on a Shorty here. 1E, and I think it's a great spot for the Anivia, but no cigar.
That must have been very close. As someone that plays a lot of Anivia myself, I could feel the E coming back.
The E coming off, yeah. I don't even play Anivia, and I was feeling it. Oh, but it is still a very good kill.
Was very, very
it is still a very good kill into the pocket of Influentic.
I think it's somewhat unexpected to see the CS differential in mid lane. A bit of CS lead for Anivia, who I personally think has the harder of the early lane phases out of the 2 mid laners here. Again, Influentic, very, very good player, very experienced on the Anivia. I think it might be his most played this split, actually, looking at his account.
Abel Corpse is doing a lot to pressure the Scion, but if you look at the numbers, there's not all too much difference between the two top laners. Both with Cull, both relatively even in the CS. Yes, Abel Corpse is up in terms of pure numbers. Gnarl to stop him from using the Decimating Smash, and
Gnarl is very low cooldown. However, it
yeah.
does mean that he probably won't have it if a Grubs or Drake is started in the next minute. Yeah.
So look at the movement from 333 on the Viego. Goes straight onto the Drake. He is going to start it up now. So now, it's all randoms. We'll need to play the aggressors. Stella comes down as well. They're going to be looking to potentially trade it for the grubs. We see Full Clear Deluxe immediately moving into that top side as well. Infernal Drake goes down, so they'll now get the notification. So guess what? It's time to make a full-on trek to those grubs as been started. Don't know what the directed camera is currently doing. There we go. It's decided it wants to move. Stun lands onto
camera
333.
loves looking at top and bot lane. Doesn't really look at mid lane. Oh, we're getting the fight. Viego probably go down
very
here.
low.
Yeah.
Does end up getting caught. Oh, Win becomes lightning. Does manage to land on the Stellar Rune here, and it's going to be a very bad spot. No flash available. Double kill goes over to the Xin Zhao. And already starting to fall behind is the +1 mid-jungle duo. A little bit over-aggressive from 333. He didn't have the tankiness that he might have been expecting and ends up going down relatively quickly. So Stella's just sort of caught in between a rock and a hard place. That does mean that Grub's in favour of the randoms.
I do feel like in these extended 2v2s, you do favour the constant DPS of the Anivia over the burst rotation of the Syndra. So it's kind of hard if you find yourself in that 2v2 to actually get anything out of it. Unless you can instantly kill one of them, which isn't going to be the case.
I do want to ask with this Syndra, do you think it's going to... How many items before you think it comes on? Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt myself as Abel Corpse gets very close.
I think the bit that... The different points where Syndra starts to feel like more of a champion are when you get the second Q, which is at 40 splinters, usually around level 6 or 7. I didn't mean to do that.
Nobody react to that.
Or the 2 full items spooch. Usually you see something like a Blackfire Torch and Cosmic Drive plus CDR boots. Or sometimes you see a Luden Shadow Flame pen boots, depending on what items people want to buy. I favour the Torch. But yeah, that's the usual sort of spike.
A fight on the bot side. Beautiful charm here from Shorty. There goes the Crescent Guard. Is going to be able to deny a lot of damage there onto Full Clear Deluxe. And meanwhile, there is still going to be a fight in top lane. But guess what? We're back in onto this bot side. River Hatred gets out by the skin of his teeth, it looked like.
Is the flash from Scion as well. That's the flash from Scion as well. I think the game plan this game for +1 should be to just get the Scion to soak up pressure. He's chilling. He's in a good spot. Being only 10 CS down is winning, in my opinion, in this matchup. And just play with your Ezreal to stat Drakes. If you can get to Soul this game, it doesn't really matter if your mid's a bit behind. It doesn't matter if your top matchup isn't great. I think it makes games so much easier.
This Abel Corpse just gets a nice cheeky kill onto Teal there, who potentially overstays. He's going to be able to jump away, if not... Oh, he gets another grasp stack just before the Scion goes down. Shorty with the knock-up onto Full Clear Deluxe. The Viego's coming in. This is 333 coming in from the side. Hatred's going to drop low. Having to flash away. It's going to be the Heartbreaker over to the side, but now it's going to be a 1 versus 1 for both junglers. A lot of damage coming through from the Smolder. Horrific able to flash to the side. 1Q and it might be all over for the trio. But not enough. Very, very shaky. Almost all summoner spells used for the side of +1. Only holding on to that Ezreal flash.
A very, very scary situation. I feel like if that Smolder's Q did just a little bit more damage, that was an instant triple kill of that last roar.
To give some context, the Ezreal is 2,000 gold up on the Smolder, so if there was any kind of, I think any more gold in the pocket of the Smolder, and like even a longsword or two, I think maybe changes that entire outcome of that fight.
I think if he had the Essence Reaver at the start of that fight looks completely different. They don't manage to all walk out 1 HP. Still, it was a win in the long run for Abyssal Randoms.
Yeah, and it also means that we're getting to that point where the Smolder, it doesn't really matter how much gold you have. Smolder as a champion just becomes so incredibly oppressive. And if you have this Xin Zhao as well, who's able to completely disrupt backlines, it's going to be basically stuck between a rock and a hard place. But in this case, it's an angry spear and a very angry dragon. Do see quests coming through, but we're not seeing any swaps
quest
come
and
through.
first item coming through.
Oh, Hatred finds 333. Look at this.
I do worry for how this game will look when Syndra has to play side lanes. I'm curious if they'll try and extend the time that Syndra's made just to let her get some items, let her get back into the game a little bit, because on the side she's very easy to dive with the Anivia.
Now, on the top, with this Viego, as never mind, it's going to be Hatred being caught out here. Gorgeous quickness. Arcane Shift to confirm that kill, and Hatred bit off more you can chew, but Stella is going to be in a spot of trouble here. It's going to be Infuentic, goes in nicely, chunks out the Syndra, and guess what? There's a Xin Zhao on the sideline waiting to come in. Support jungle of +1 are going to get spotted out. This is Shorty and 333 trying to push back the Xin Anivia. Drake does reset. Stella might potentially be caught up by Infuentic here. Bad spot for the Stella rune.
Do we see the Scion? Look where Scion is. The ultimate could come through here.
Wait, Crescent Guard, Full Clear Deluxe might go down here. It is going to be a difficult one, but that's going to be the possession that can come through for 333, but he's not going to be able to... Oh, he's not going to be able to get it. The burn is too much. Now, Belial's Birth is going to be on the front line here, but the Smolder is coming through. Mom came over the wall, and now... Oh, this is so agonizing to watch. It's knife's edge for both teams. Belial going to be flashing away.
Yeah, that's the second time that we've seen Ezreal scurry away. Teal doing a great job just to get something back, but that's not what you want to see.
It wasn't an overly convincing fight, considering the engage that +1 got. They got the early kill on the Xin Zhao, but the Viego just could not get the possession. The Anivia damage was too high. And that wall as well, actually, playing a pivotal role. It stopped the Viego from reaching the possession. I feel if 333 gets that, it's a completely different fight altogether. But now, Drake is started up. 3.1 and very rapidly counting. +1 will not opt to stop this, as that's going to be second Drake going into the pockets of the randoms. Stella might potentially look for some damage onto Hatred here, as does get Mantra-E'd. Cancel that. Now Shorty and Belial. Look at the absolute accuracy coming in from Belial there. Even though the Smolder was eating around, still getting a decent amount of damage now. 333 and Teal, the brand new boys on this block, are going to be in a fight in top lane. Smolder does go down. Mum's healing not going to be able to support the baby dragon in time. And 333 is going to have to escape away. Tail between his legs, and Teal will have to do the same as well. Potentially a dive coming through here from the duo there, as it's going to be flash for flash exchange by both junglers. Now, Scion isn't in the best of spots, but this turret is now at full ramp up. If Teal is able to get away, no, he's not. Is going to go down, but it is in exchange for the first turret of the game, going the way of Amalia on the Syndra. And a second to Belial. So 2 turrets for a kill on the Scion makes me feel this isn't quite as worth for the Abyssal Randoms as they would have initially thought. Stella deals a decent amount of damage, and Shorty's here to back her up. The Anivia does have the Eggnivia. There's the Unleashed Power. It doesn't manage to proc it.
I feel like this is one of those games where you don't expect the gold lead to be what it is when you look at the score and you look at the items. The gold lead is 3k for the side of +1.
Now, I expect that most of that will be concentrated within the Ezreal, and it, in fact, very much is. It's almost 3,000 purely in the pockets of Belial in
600
advantage.
up in the jungle too, but the mid is 1,000 behind, so that kind of offsets a little bit. The bot side of +1 putting in a shift here.
Yeah, so that gold lead is basically all coming through from Belial at the moment. As we do see an engage come through, it is going to be that Ezreal that we were talking about does get engaged on. Abel Corpse has to jump over the wall. Is he able to get the kill onto Belial? He does. Shut down is the Ezreal. Stella now backing away. Here comes the Viego on the sideline onto the Anivia. But Infuentic not exactly too scared of that. Shorty might be a little bit done for. Oh, Decimating Smash doesn't quite come down. Viego is currently under True Sight. Wind becomes Lightning, and he might just be not long for this world. Sion still surviving. This is taking too long, guys. Can we deal with this? Sion, please,
if I'm
please.
Nora, I just let Smolder stack. Smolder?
Smolder? Smolder?
If I'm Smolder, I'm taking that kill, to be honest. I feel like it's much more useful. Nora is 5-0 already and wins in Sion even when he's not. I feel like it's much more useful to give that to Smolder. Oh, interesting, actually. Anivia's going Leandri's, ignoring the possible Malignant second, so could have mana problems.
Belial! Belial's gonna get caught out. This might just be signed, sealed, and delivered on Death Timer.
Yeah, 2 quick deaths over for the Ezreal. Gave his bounty over the first time as well. Yeah, well, this game
down as well.
Swung. This game swung all of a sudden. I said there were 3k up, and that lead has completely evaporated.
The issue is +1, they don't really have a great get-in mode. Shorty can try and find the grand entrance, but what can it lead to? There's not enough damage coming through. I mean, look at Stella just getting run down by this Gnar. And she's going to end up dying. Abel Corpse does get shut down, but it's in exchange for your mid laner. And you were saying earlier that Syndra's going to struggle on these side lanes. And already she is. It is looking like the Cosmic Drive coming through second there. For
yeah, it's one of those things where if your team isn't set up around you, it's quite easy for you to just be caught out and die. I do feel for Amalia there. I think she's in a very difficult position to play this game out.
Unfortunate indeed. But game is not over yet, and despite all that has happened, Teal still is refusing to take all too much damage here, even though this is a 305 Anivia. Definitely taking his time on this, isn't he? Isn't able to land any kind of decimating smashes, and no
I feel like this isn't a kill. I feel like they're just going to walk this out, and they have to be careful they don't get collapsed on by the rest of +1 here.
Oh, Belial comes over the wall, going to be trying to avoid getting his third death in the span of 1 minute. Viego might potentially be coming over the wall. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. Infuentic very far forward.
Attention to the fact Smolder is top lane. He's hit his power spike with Black Cleaver, but he is top lane right now. He can't be involved in this fight.
Oh, but it looks like every Abyssal Random's collapse might come through here. Shorty's going to be popping the quickness to try and pull away the top jungle of the Abyssal Randoms, and it is going to pull them away, but it is also going to pull him to his grave. As that's Shorty down for this Drake. Teal has now gone into topside to counteract the push there from the Smolder. And Smolder's very happy here because he just gets to stack. He's a cheery one.
Can we get a Smolder stack check, my good man?
Yeah, it might be the last stack. He's on 211.
I think, if I'm being honest, I think that is a little on the slower side to get into the execute. However, if you think about the fact that early game Ezreal was 5-0, it kind of starts to make sense. How do they claw back this game? The gold is even, but the dragon stacking is in favour of the randoms, and you feel like their team comp is just a bit better at the moment.
+1 definitely on the back foot, especially. Now we're just going to get a repeat of what happened earlier. There is no flash on Teal, but they're going to see the body blocks coming through to try and stop him from ulting away. But there is just no damage being dealt to this Sion. It is going to start to ramp up now, but that the Smolder is here. But this is taking a long time to do. And +1 are going to be able to look to try and make some kind of stance elsewhere on the map. See the Smolder. Smolder's going to get caught out here. Already taken down. It's shut down onto the... Is this Infuentic dead too?
That's massive.
This is really, this is going to be really close.
I don't think he dies.
He does! He
They
got shut
just
down!
managed to get him. That's both shutdowns going over to the Viego. I think this game just got a lot more playable.
Belial in a bad spot. Hatred is going to have to flash away, and there is still the CC coming through from Rakan, but that Xin Zhao healing is not anything to
I think he can kite this out. He's got his Rakan.
Look at that. Yeah. Beautiful from +1. And it manages to get them the gold lead back.
Yeah, I was completely proven wrong there. I was looking at the minimap and thinking, there's not really much they're getting out of the Scion death, but very well played from Shorty and triple free there to get the 2 shutdowns from a very unexpected position.
Now, the trade-off is this Viego is still very much squishy. But if he gets in, my goodness, someone is going to pop like a balloon in a needle factory. But can PlusOne find the angle? Do still have 1 bounty for the side of the Abyssal Randoms. Thank you, Wheeloy, for the follow. Excellent game 1 on the Ezreal, especially for the competitive game. Now +1, posturing around this Baron. We do see that the Abyssal Randoms very much split. The Anivia is in bot currently. No TP. Able Corpse.
It looks like they're playing towards bot. I think they've realised that +1 do have Baron damage, but not the quickest ever. They're playing for this bot tier 2, but with Gnar dead, they might look to threaten the Baron. I think the Abyssal Randoms have to now pull to mid and try and retake Prio.
One thing to note, this is a damage Baron, and that's going to be the Smolder taken away as well. Horrific dies in a horrific manner, caught out there by 2 members. It's 2 for nothing. +1 have found an opening, and even though this might be the damage Baron, it's very much on the damaging side of +1 to take this down. Full Clear Deluxe.
I think this could get a little bit scary here.
Belial is quite low. Full Clear Deluxe is your front line. The Baron has now reset in terms of damage. Stella's going to be caught on the side with the wall. Full Clear Deluxe in the middle. It's not going to be able to land. The Spectral Maw misses from the Viego. So now, Teal is just kind of standing in the midst of things. Decimating Smash lands now, and that's a full CC'd up Xin Zhao. Belial does go very far in, but it's going to be the Karma picking up the kill onto Shorty. But it is now a 4 versus 2. Infuentic goes low, goes down, and it's one more Hatred, last man standing. +1, do they look to try and go to the Baron now during that 33-second period that Full Clear Deluxe is dead? Stella's going to look to back, has got the TP up and available just to try and regain some mana. Excellent
really
fight for
this
+1
gold
though.
lead now. +1 looking at a 4k gold lead, potentially going to 5k once this Baron is.
I'm a little bit scared that it is going to be the Gnar and the Smolder. It is Mega Gnar coming in. It's going to be an ult down onto the Viego. Goes all in. Corpse gets that first kill, and now the Baron is once again stopped. This Baron is dealing more damage than anyone could ever compete with.
I think they're thinking about the Dragon now. I think they're going to look for mid-prio and take over the bot side quadrant of +1. They're going to look for this blue buff potentially, look for this scuttle when it spawns.
Now, one thing to note is that only one of the top laners has TP, and that is Teal. Able Corpse doesn't quite have it online just yet. That does mean
I think what he might look to do is to, if I'm the Gnar here, I'm walking with Scion down. He ults down river to rejoin his team and get away from the Gnar. I quite like it. Also, have you noticed this Anivia has got a lot of points in a W? I really like this. I do it myself.
Wide wall.
I put points in W after I've maxed E, because you don't really need those extra points in Q. Most of your damage is from your ulting E. You don't care about the extra 0.1 CC. You don't care about that. 0.1 second CC.
Yeah, and if you're playing the team fights right, that 0.1 second should lead into a lot more, especially considering the teammates you've got around you. Drake does go down to Full Clear Deluxe, so it is going to be soul point for the Abyssal Randoms. And now +1 are definitely in a do or die situation. They are even in turret. Only tier 1s have been taken so far. All tier 2s remain, but +1 look to be in terms of a plate advantage. Just by 1 plate, so let's be honest, not all much advantageous. They're more even than else.
A team fight looks here?
I think this might be a really good angle here, Teal.
We've seen a Smolder caught before a fight, and Smolder is at execute stacks. We've seen fights where it started off by a Scion and a Viego that don't quite have the damage to finish people off. What happens when it's a full 5v5? Because I think these teams are a lot closer than it looks.
I think it's all based on how much Stella and Belial can poke out Abyssal Randoms. They do ever so slightly outrange with the Mystic shots from the Ezreal. Yes, you do have the Snot Bubble from the Smolder, but if Belial's able to move around and deal a little bit of poke damage, it at least puts the Abyssal Randoms on the back foot before +1 try and make an engage. But
Yeah,
it's
there'll
going to
be
be
R
very
coming through
difficult.
as well for Ezreal.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness, horrific. You are the last man standing. Charm into knock up, and he might have been caught out again. Flashes away. True Shot Barrage not going to be able to connect. And by the skin of his teeth, Horrific is still standing. And that is exactly what we were afraid of. The Smolder being caught out while in that execute range. As, oh, +1. Again, on the back foot. It's constantly threatening into threatening. Wall comes through here, manages to land a stun onto the Viego, who is going to go very low. Mum comes through. One more Q will do it. That's going to be the execute, taking him down. That's your jungler
I
gone.
honestly
The Baron
felt
has been
like it was a
started.
little too much. Wow, I felt like it was a little too much with the Flash Wall. I didn't think he quite connected the Flash Frost, but it works out. They can chase down for the 2 kills, and now it looks like Baron has been taken completely uncontested.
Baron does get taken, but if it's majority reset, you do see Belial pushing out this mid wave and immediately trying to back away, not giving the Abyssal Randoms any good waves to play off of. Does miss that last Q, so they will still have one caster minion, but it won't be alive for much longer. Now, in this sort of situation, they'll be looking to try and just de-push as much as possible, making this Baron as unusable as it possibly can be.
So if I'm on the side of Abyssal Randoms here, again, when we talk about Baron, we talk about 2 lanes. We already have great push in the top. Nor needs to not get caught here, or it makes the next sequence very difficult. I think they should play mid, they should play bot, and then they should play Soul. They will have Baron still when Soul spots.
I will say something that is a little bit of a shock is Amalia level 15 at the moment compared to Infuentix 17. Yes, the Rod of Ages plays a big part into that, but Amalia only just pinged level 15, so really,
I think that's the story of this game, really.
Yeah.
If you look at the CS numbers, I don't think anyone's been farming particularly well. There's been a lot of moving, a lot of catches, a lot of playing towards sides here. There's not really been time for people to be catching these waves on the side.
Full Clear Deluxe goes in here. Crescent Guard is used very early on. Viego's going to be able to get out, but Shorty is not going to be so lucky. Horrific manages to catch it. Oh, the mum comes in to assist. Here comes Lightning, lands onto the Ezreal, and as you were saying about a full 5v5, that's the story of the life
I
there.
like how Abyssal Randoms are playing this. You can see Anivia on bot wave. It's going to be trying to siege from the bottom too. They can maybe hit this mid tower.
Oh, great flash there from Amalia.
Look,
I think this
wow,
might be
the
game.
smolder damage.
Oh, Spectral Maw doesn't manage to land onto Horrific, so it's going to be very difficult. Able Corpse is going to be dropping low in Hatred now, tanking up the turret shots. It's a double kill for the hands of Horrific.
Deathfire Touch manages to finish the Viego off.
Unless they incredibly misplayed this, I think this is Abyssal Random's game to lose. Hatred is going to drop low just purely off of turret shots. What can Teal do to try and stop this from going... Oh, from bad to worse.
Is it over? We've got 20 seconds till Amalia's up. Belial is known for being really good at pumping. However, can he do it on Ezreal in this scenario?
It's not looking all too great. Able Corpse is going to stop the engage from Shorty. And now with the open Nexus, it's Belial against the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid he does not have what it takes. +1 lose game in round 2. And as you can see...
That's a very, very fun game to watch. I think from a neutral perspective, if you're a neutral, obviously I'm going to be rooting for my homies at +1. But from a neutral perspective, there's a lot of swings, a lot of miss, a lot of hits, and a lot of misses in that game. So very, very fun one to watch.
And as you can see at the top of your screen, the games did update, so it worked. So as you can see, the last game to be played for round 2 is D4G against... Is that Arrakis? Arrakis. I don't know. Which one? I feel like Arrakis. Arrakis is more fun to say. But now, this means that +1, 1-1. So now their best hope is to go 4-1, 4-2. 4-2? 6 rounds, yes. 4-2 to try and get into that
It,
playoff
it'll
spot.
be it will be 4-1 or 4-2 depending on how they do. Again, it's okay to drop one game. Doesn't mean that you might. It doesn't mean that you have to play tiebreaker. You could go from 4-1, but like Tinsa said, if you end up being 3-2, you're gonna have to win that tiebreaker. So we've got one game left. D4G haven't resolved their game yet against Arrakis.
Yeah, taking a very long time to end this one here.
I can actually give a bit of information here because I can spectate in the client. Obviously, I won't be able to stream it for you guys, but I can give a bit of context to the game, perhaps.
And just for those.
Wow, this game has gone very late. There's a Ocean Soul. There's inhibs down on the side of Arrakis. Oh, this game's going very late.
Well, I have no doubt that Lei Feng effect. You never know. But what that means for the standings, as you can see on the top of your screen, +1 lost to Abyssal Randoms, Emery's Academy lost to Berserk, D4G, and Arrakis, as was mentioned, is still underway. SSU had that bye round after All Eyes on Gav were not disqualified, dropped out. Pacific 5 losing to Leon's KFC weekend, Void Grubs beating HL Towery Esports Academy, and Fuse able to bounce back after that Game 1 loss against the Cambridge Hextex. So right now, if you are HL Towery Academy, Pacific 5,
We've had a
Cambridge
result.
Hextex. Oh,
We've had a result. It is D4G with the win.
D4G winning that one out, and
So
that means...
let's take quick inventory of who's on 2-0 right now, Titsa.
So your 2-0 gamers are Abyssal Randoms, D4G, Berserk, Super Sparkly Unicorns, and I believe that is it. Yeah, everyone else is either on 1-1 or 0-2. And those teams who are on 0-2 are HL Tower Esports Academy, Cambridge Hextex, Pacific 5, and, of course, All Eyes on Gav, but I don't think they count. So that means that no matter what, those teams are guaranteed to are either they have to get a playoff, they have to go through the tiebreakers basically to progress. And as you can see, updating live as well. I actually got it working. I'm actually quite impressed at that. Oh, they've made it the wrong shade of red. Oh, can anyone else see that? Can anyone see that they've made it the wrong shade
That's
of red?
bugging me as well. I'm
That's
assuming
annoying.
that the buy is
The buy is
maybe
the
done a
wrong
little
shade.
different just so they can see it, perhaps. Maybe that's why. Bilal's birth in chat. Yo. Bilal's birth, are you still here?
Belial, you
hello
didn't buy
if you're here.
Cull. Did ya?
Wow, no response from Belial. He is definitely here. I bet he's just smiling behind his keyboard, not typing back to us.
Well, -1. +1. I'm fired. Right. Okay, games have been published, so you can see Team 1's on the left, and you can see Teams 2 on the right. So +1 are playing Fuse! Ooh.
Oh, +1 Fuse.
I don't know what is happening with Cambridge Hextex. I don't know what's happening there. Have they both dropped out? I'm not sure why they're both in red. I'm sure we'll potentially get an update at some point on what is going on with that. The only reason I can imagine them both being in red is because the Cambridge Hextex have dropped out. Otherwise, it might just be a error, and the round is a bye for them. Looking across, so your 4 2-0 teams that are SSU, Abyssal Randoms, Berserk, and D4G will all face each other. The Lei Feng effect is in full motion for Diamond 4 gamers. Void Grubs against Leon's KFC weekend. Fuse against +1 are your 1-1 scorers, and the only. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Arrakis. Oh, Arrakis is also 1-1. Oh, wait, Emrys is also 1-1.
Emrys Academy are 1-1 too.
Yes. So it was only Cambridge, Hextex, HL Tower, and Pacific 5 who are on 0-2 currently. And obviously the forfeit spot. Interesting. So right now, the top 4 teams on the like the spreadsheet have a great chance to be able to have a big foot in the door. You win this, you are essentially guaranteed a play-in spot.
You are guaranteed a tiebreaker spot for next round if you go 3-0. So you can get that stuck in today, and if you lose the first 2 on Thursday, it doesn't impact whether you can qualify or not. However, it will impact how far into the qualification stage you go. So the team that goes 5-0, for instance, might be able to skip a game or start a bit later in the second stage.
Yeah, so everyone in chat, give me your predictions. Who do you think is going to win out of these top 2 teams? Who's going to go 3-0? But better yet, between +1 and Fuse, who do you think is going to win this tie? We got to see Fuse play game 1. They did end up losing. We saw an excellent debut game from Wheelery on +1 as well. Both the Ezreals we've watched have lost. So maybe it's a little bit of a troll pick coming through here. I do think that Ashe and Smolder should be higher priority than the Ezreal, but again, this is the opinion of a plat player. And I think Ezreal does bring a level of consistency that you do not get from any other ADC. Just awaiting the lobby confirmation at this moment in time.
Yeah, so if any Fuse or +1 people are watching, don't forget to invite my boy Tinser to your lobby.
Yes, I do need that. I do need the invite. I will say, this will probably be the best time to get any kind of refreshments, be it a little bit of water, a little bit of maybe a sweet treat. You enjoying sweet treats? I don't know. Maybe you got something in the cupboard. Maybe you've got something that you haven't actually realised that you have. But either way, we'll still be here. Or at least I will. Hopefully. To give you the final game for today, +1 versus Fuse. So don't go anywhere. Well, we'll still be here. Don't you guys worry.
Yep, we are sat here right now at Nisa, you know.
I haven't even got the Nisa on. There we go. No, holy what? No way. UKEL Div 2 Open Qualifiers at Nisa Local?
That would go kind of crazy.
This would go
I find it very funny that I just got a DM from Leifeng telling me what the results are for the +1 game. Like, we didn't just watch the whole game. W Leifeng. It's the Leifeng effect.
Yeah. It's like Chuck Norris, isn't it? He is the Polish Chuck Norris. Actually, Yoon, before we go into this next match, we've seen
Yeah.
both of these teams play. Who do you think is on a better trajectory based on what we've seen?
Oh, that's tough because if I'm being honest, I felt like Fuse were showing up really well in their game before things obviously started going downhill. But I do think that was a matter of one particular throw that just made the game really difficult. PlusOne showed a lot of promising things that game. However, with a bit of a thrown together lineup, missing some voices, I feel like they might have a trickier time navigating this. Honestly, it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game. I do want to shout out both ADCs though. I want to shout out Wheelery and Belial. I think that's the matchup to watch this game. Both of them played a really, really good Ezreal in the previous game. Both of them. I think even though they lost, I think they can hold their heads high and feel like they really, really locked in for that. So.
We didn't really get to see all too much from 333 in terms of a truly dominant performance on the Viego. Do you think we might be able to get to see a little bit of a contrast in game 2?
Could you repeat the first bit of that, if that's okay?
Yeah,
My internet actually went for a second.
That's absolutely fine. It was just that we didn't really get to see 333 be as big of a threat as I feel like the Viego could have been. And do you think we'll see a nice contrast come this game?
I think there were little glimpses of it, like the catch in the top side blue jungle where you got both shutdowns. But other than that, we didn't really. And I guess the very first play of the game with the free resets bottle. But other than that, we didn't really see the reset dream come through. I do think he should stick to his Viego though, because I do think it does suit the sort of style they want to play. I'm not sure what else he actually plays. I don't know him too well compared to the other side, the other players on +1. But he can definitely play Viego. Give him that.
Yeah, is the newest addition to the roster. Initially was not intended to play today. However, was not allowed in, but basically made it just in time. It was initially intended to be Wise Traveler taking the mantle of the jungler. As one moment, let me turn my light on. I've just realised how dark it's gotten, and I look like I'm in the abyss.
Bro got Mordekaiser ulted. You
The
might be
abyssal
saying.
random's got me. Oh, there we go. Lights on, and away we go. And you can see how pale I am. I am literally a ghost.
Well,
Right.
it looks like we're not having any substitutions in this next game. It looks like they are playing with the same rosters for both sides.
Why is Joe and Belial beefing?
Don't blow beefing. I mean, Blau, you've just got to keep the confidence up, bro. Played really well again. But I do think what you said is very funny as well. That is definitely a Belial of the past thing to do.
Can you see what's going on in the game chat? Have I still got it streaming?
In the game chat, I've not looked. I do really, even though I'm not participating this year because I am already signed to play in the UKL, I don't need to qualify. Open qualifiers is my favourite time for the league scene because it's fun to see a lot of returning faces, a lot of fresh faces, to watch a lot of games that you have no idea what's happening. Very fun time. I can't wait to watch again on Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have already been blessed with somewhat peak, so
I think that last game was very, very entertaining. If you're neutral, if you don't care who wins, very entertaining game.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, thanks, Domain. Any
I think the
prediction?
main. I go. Oh, it's funny. We just spoke about that. I feel like both teams had a very similar game there. The first round from Fuse and the second round from +1, getting ahead, especially on Israel, getting a massive lead, and then making one or two questionable decisions, throwing it, and the game becomes very tough for them. Do you have any idea who you think is going to win, Tinser? If you had to guess.
Based on the two games that I've seen, I feel like Fuse had the better overall performance across every section, across what's it called? Every lane. I feel like they didn't have quite as high highs as +1 did in their game, but on average, I think that they had more consistency in the lanes. Obviously, when it's a Viego against a Xin Zhao, it's very like volatile who ends up looking better. So I do really want to see this jungle matchup go the whole way. Oh, there's
Yeah,
what's going on here?
I honestly I see where you're coming from with that. I really do. I think who wins this game might not necessarily be the team that makes the best plays, but it might be the team that doesn't make the worst play, if that makes sense. I feel like both these teams have been throwing in their games.
Oh,
Hey,
YOON.
Savonix, yo, hi.
Okay, we've got the fan
I'm
coming
a huge
in.
fan of you guys. Good cheer as well. Massive fan. I had a lot of good friends and ex teammates that have played for you guys.
Now, something to note is that I believe. Wait, who's on the left? Oh, the emote's still show up on screen. I forgot about that.
Do
I forgot
they?
about that fact. It's
That's
only
really
on
good.
this one. It's
Spam
not
your
on the
emotes.
draft
Spam your
screen.
emotes.
Hmm? Oh,
Spam your emotes.
there you go. Only one of them showed up.
Coated. W. Oh no, Savonix man, I'm blushing. I'm kicking my feet under the desk. You can't see it right now, but
Everyone,
I'm red as fuck.
observe your screen. This is YOON right now. All of those emotions all at once. Just awaiting on the draft to be underway.
Crank that soldier boy. I might crank it. I've not got a camera, but one sec, I might crank it. Not in that way.
Are you sure? I think that's against
To be
terms of
fair,
service.
you can't see it, but I'm hitting that shit right now.
I'm scared. I am truly scared.
Alright, I'm sat back down now. Cortisol is low again. Is that the Joe Moat?
What is that?
See you, Subinix. See you, Subinix.
My goodness. Well, we are into draft. Did I just get 2? Oh my god, they pop up on stream! That is terrifying. Bans are coming through, by the way. The teal Fiora has been taken off the map. I think this draft will.
Sorry, I have the manliest laugh of all time. My bad.
This draft does determine quite. What was that? This draft will determine quite a lot. I want to see some cooking, guys. Come on. Let's let
We're,
the
we're
chefs in the
banning the
building.
mains out here. We're banning the mains. So the Fiora ban for Teal. Obviously, Teal likes to play against the Scion, likes to play against the Ornn. With the Fiora pick, taking that out early. Taking that Echo and Orianna. So the jungler of Fuse is an Echo main. Pretty obvious from the name. And Ryan
Okay.
played a very good Orianna in the first game. Seraphine
So
coming out, so the Karma prio very high right now.
we are guaranteed to have a new jungler this game. No Xin, no Viego. And first pick for +1. I'm not too certain that Shorty would go for the Karma first pick. I don't think it's something that... I think
I
he
don't
might go
think
for the
he's
Smolder.
first pick and support.
Oh, Ezreal. Ooh.
Also, that Ezreal is going to Belial, so it's all two very capable Ezreal players. I would say Belial has more Ezreal experience,
Oh.
Wheelery quite new to the champ, but still pulls it off very well. Vayne locked in.
Vayne Pantheon?
I have this on good authority. I'm guessing that Laura is not playing this. Love you, Laura, but I feel like
I mean,
there's not a Vayne in this game.
I said
I feel
cook,
like not.
and that's very much a cook. Vayne plays nicely into the Ezreal with that Q, able to just kind of duck and dodge around, but also it kind of stops the kind of front. Come on, guys. I said cook, not burn it.
I think this is very interesting. We could see. I'm feeling a zillion on 3 for +1 here. I think that the ability to slow the Vayne, the ability to speed the heck around. I feel like Zillion is a power pick here.
Teal, lock Nasus. Teal, lock Nasus.
I like how you said that like you're casting a spell.
Oh, okay.
Testicular torsion coming through.
I cast titanium balls. Well, +1 have their jungle and bot duos locked in.
Really feel like that's a Zillion angle, but obviously Karma Ezra a very good lane, as we know. We've already seen it today.
Perhaps they still want to look for the Zillion on 4-5. They just want a little bit more space. It is going to be Rakan locked in, so that does kind of push that Pantheon towards the jungle. It's Lulu that's going to actually be the response. Very much enabling this Vayne to do the best work she can. Now going into second ban phase, I expect the top lane pool to be absolutely choked out. We might potentially see the Aurora ban as well come back as a nice little return fire. Come out here, but... Oh, it's going to be Diana taken off. So they were afraid of the teal Diana, or potentially the Amalia Diana. You know, Diana used to be played mid at some point.
If I'm Fuse, I think I'm... you know what? I think I'm banning Akali. It's the Akali top, potentially. I do feel like Laura might try and grab the Ornn and give counter pick to mid here. Because I do think if you blind pick into Amalia, she does have very, very strange picks.
Now,
that she seems to always pop off on.
Is that a ban for Zillion? They find the Akali, who... Domain, stop giving them... Stop stream sniping. Get out of here!
I do feel like Zillion had to be support this game. I don't think Zillion mid is a good blind, assuming that Laura will pick on 4, of course. She might not. Because the thing is, you've got to decide if you think it's more worth to make Teal have to blind pick something safer, or you would rather have a counter pick mid into someone who's very good at counter picking, like Amalia.
So that's not taken away. So that makes me feel like the Ornn is a very safe pick here on R4. But Gwen... Oh, Gwen's still open.
Gwen is still open, and Teal... I don't see him play Gwen much, but I definitely think he can play it.
He could also pick the Aurora, potentially. Or is it just Cassandra?
Again, yeah.
I called it. Wrong team altogether. But I called it.
Interesting.
Nasus is
the dog.
In. Who let the dogs out? Now, do you remember when Chovy picked Nasus mid and everyone was going crazy?
I mean, if Chovy does, everyone copy. That is usually how League of Legends unfolds. So we've got the dog versus the fox, although assuming they're not on the same lane.
potentially. We've got a horse, a fox, a dog, and a yodel. This is the setup for a bad joke. Yep. Come on, let's see what we've got. What have we got? +1. Show me some goods. It does. I feel like it needs to be a more frontliney pick. Come through. Maybe no. Silas is open, so it wouldn't be the Malphite. Gnar banned away, so Renekton is an option, and it is going to get locked in. So that's Teal on a very safe pick. Don't you dare!
I'm not gonna lie.
Don't you dare!
I'm not gonna lie. I think Fuse has a massive Silas angle here. I think there's some great ults. I think Renekton ult is really good. Ahri ult is really good. Karma ult is usable. Hecarim ult is amazing. Victor. Okay, Victor into Ahri. Brian likes playing this matchup. He's a very good Victor player. This is very, very miserable laning for the Ahri. You're outranged. You have, I would say, kind of worse mana if you're trying to match the wave player. Yeah, it's a bit difficult there.
And I just want to say the hovers that were coming through, the Warwick and the Belveth. Warwick is my second highest mastery champion behind Ezreal, and you don't get to often see Warwick in professional play, and if it is, it's usually in top lane. So that would have meant that it probably would have been a pivot for the Nasus to go mid, and Warwick to go top lane.
Shorty. The Ornn B1 dream is dead, unfortunately. You know what, Shorty? You might be the only person in the world that I don't mind doing that. I don't think you can do it.
You can cancel me, but
I trust you, man. This is difficult because I don't think I've ever cast a game where I have friends on both sides.
Yeah, this
because
is
I do have opinions in my heart, of course, but I don't even think they're ones that I can access. I don't know what my take is on anything or who I want to win or anything like that. I'm just hoping that it's a banger.
I will say, I do like the Nasus pick. It's kind of the inverse of the Zilean, where instead of speed up, you get a very significant slowdown and an attack speed gut. So the Ezreal as well is also under threat from if that Wither gets placed onto him. I like the Nasus. I like the Nasus. I think I like the Nasus pick. I think I prefer Fuse's draft. Yes, +1s is a lot more consistent, and if 333 can get off the ground on this Hecarim, it's going to be very hard to stop this pain train. But I think as a composition, you've got nice scaling. Nasus will always be useful on the side lane. Victor is obviously very potent in that mid lane as well. Mm-hmm. I think the earnest is on +1 to have to try and win this game, otherwise Fuse will be able to take it home.
Have we got any lore enjoyers in the chat? We've got the brotherly love top lane. We've got the Nasus versus Renekton, which I didn't initially catch on to. But yeah, we've got the Shiremian Ascended God Warriors fighting off.
I remember there's a bit of lore that I absolutely love, and it's Azir destroyed the town that Xerath came from for the reason that he was born there. Nothing else.
Generational hater.
I think, and do you want to know what's funny? Xerath still beats him in lane.
He does. Xerath is known as a very, very good pick into Azir. It's a bit of a checkmate pick. You're outranged. You have a worse wave clear early. You are getting shoved under your tower. You are not getting priority.
Yoon, I know you are you're vegan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, vegan. Do you know any good vegan kebab alternatives? Just general piece when you have the you have this isn't chicken pieces, those ones.
Yeah, I have them quite a lot. So honestly, I don't have particular brand recommendations because nowadays you used to really only have Quorn as a good option, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays there's a lot of really good options for vegetarian and vegan people that actually taste good. Because it used to just be you've got one option. I don't even think the people producing it cared what it tastes like. the cost of it was your sanity for your ethics, I guess. Whereas now there's quite a lot of nice things that you can have. I really like the plant-based, like little, like they're almost like tofu cubes, but they're not tofu, of like microprotein, and you fry them, and you can put some different herbs or some different I forgot the word for them, not spices, the other thing. Fry it, put it in some rice, like top notch meal. Top notch meal.
I remember seeing some of those. I remember I
It's
like
really good, honestly.
I started trying the this isn't chicken pieces, and the packet sizes were really small.
Yeah.
And like initially when I was buying them,
Oh, that's it.
It was more so like
they're called
calorie
plant
difference.
menu. Sorry to interrupt. They're called plant menu. Those ones quite good. They've got like a green teal box packaging. Those are really good. They're very high protein as well. Something they don't talk about is vegan food tends to be very high protein and quite low calorie for the protein content. It's quite good.
Very, very, very
If you
calorie
like to look after yourself, it's quite good.
See, the only reason I can never be vegan is I like cheese too much. I could be vegetarian.
Cheese is good. I feel like
cheese.
I feel like veganism isn't one of those things that is like a monolith in of itself where if you eat cheese once you're a bad person automatically. I think, for example, my mum.
Fuck you.
My mum is a pescatarian, right? She only eats fish as the only meat that she has, right? And she used to fully eat meat and everything, and she's like cut down a little on her meat, and some weeks she doesn't have any meat at all, and it's like it's been pretty nice for her in that time. And whilst I don't judge, because frankly, you do you. I don't think you have to always be one or the other. You know, like I've had cheese before.
It's about being fluid.
Doesn't stop what I am. You know. Anyway, enough of the veganism. Are we in game yet? Or are we close?
No. That's the whole reason why I started this.
To be fair, you know, I was thinking about having because I have to have a quote for UKL in the future. I think my quote being vegan but not in lane because I like to play aggressive. So I think it's quite the juxtaposition. It's quite nice.
Oh, that's a great question, guys. What would your quote be? Not just like in UKEL.
Yeah.
Like
What would your life quote be? I guess.
See, mine. So, this is the most. I don't even know what the word is, but like egotistical thing ever is if I ever wrote a book, or like had like a book with a ghostwriter, because let's be honest, I can't write. Joe, your life quote is iron brew and sausage rolls.
It's have 5 and drive.
Officer, I wasn't drinking and driving. I drank before I started driving. Fucking idiots.
I mean, where Joe lives, he can drive quite a while without the risk of people. Maybe a few animals, but no people. So it's chilling.
Yeah, I've driven in like Scotland.
Beautiful place.
It is.
Scotland.
The road into Scotland is fantastic. Once you get into Linwood, bad.
Have you ever gone the Jedburgh route? It's like instead of going the A1 route, you go kind of through the centre of
M6. Oh, we aren't
I don't think it's M6.
No,
it's one of them though. You cut through like the forest and you come to this beautiful abbey in Jedburgh. Anyway, we'll get into the game, but it's beautiful. You ever get a chance? Go do it. Right, let's get it.
Okay, never mind. Fuck what's happening.
Right,
never mind.
Ignite Ari. I like this setup. Do you know if you're into a lane like Victor? I really like this setup. It lets you play for the solo kills on side lane when the lane is longer.
I just want to appreciate. In lobby, I asked if people could turn off streamer mode so I could give them the proper names they deserve, and everyone listened. So clearly, they all are respectful human beings, respectable people, except for Wheelery here, who has the prestige vein skin. How dare you? How dare you? But
this
so
is
far,
an awkward lane early for the vein, though. We've got to we've got to realise that this Vayne is kind of happy to be gracefully losing. Great, to be a little bit behind is expected.
Teal ends up missing the Cull the Meek there.
Yeah, I'm not
Doesn't
really a
manage to get
fan
the
of the
massive
Q
healing.
start on Renekton into a lot of matchups at the moment. I think E start is better in some matchups.
Much more versatile. And oh, we're not
Oh,
seeing
is
an
this
early
going to be
gank.
an early gank? Is this a level 2 gank
Oh my
top?
goodness gracious me. Well, the Pantheon's coming around. Teal has no idea of this. There goes the Wither. That's going to be the level 2 come through. And now in comes the Pantheon.
He
It's
does
going to
have E.
stun. Manages to dash away. Now, how close is his Q? He manages to get the Empower Q and flashing away from the Pantheon jab. But it's not going to be enough. Flash forward there from the Pantheon. But it's not going to be
I'm
enough.
not going to lie. I think you don't mind this that much as the Renekton.
I would say this is good. Great charm there, by the way, from
It
Amalia.
does mean that Hecarim can kind of finish his full clear and look for the Raptors of Pantheon.
So if you can see the pings on the map, Echo pinged into 333's topside jungle, thinking that the Hecarim might look for a bot side invade. In fact, that is not what is happening. In fact, 333 has done the thing that Echo would definitely not like to happen. As more trading's going on in this top lane, we love to see it. Decent chunk of aggression.
We certainly do. This is going to be such an interesting game. I'm not going to lie, I think it's a creative play top, but dying for it just puts you so far behind. Pantheon clears quite slowly anyway, now, so you're only putting yourself further behind.
333 looks for the invade. He is going to find Echo. Level 4 versus level 3, Echo in a bad spot. This might go from bad to worse. He's going to get shoved back in. No flash available on the Pantheon. Taken down. 333 on the board. And already in a good driving seat. We were saying in the pre-game what we needed to see from this jungler on his debut for the team. And he's already showing it into this game 3. Where it is kind of one of those games where a win is a big mental relief as well. But it's not
I think you can tower dive this if you're Renekton. I think auto into W, EQE can get him low enough to redive after. I don't mind it.
There wasn't the Q from Teal there.
Yeah, I think he could have been cleaner with his Fury usage there, but I still like what he was doing.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, for once, the most bloodthirsty lane isn't bot lane. So far, we've seen both Ezreals by this point have either double kills or even 3 kills on their tallies. But so far, only an assist in the pocket of Belial. So perhaps this is a change of pace, letting the rest of the team get ahead rather than focusing it all onto the ADC.
So Ezreal will have an even better spike than the Vayne here. He's got 5 Jack of all trades stacks, has come back to lane this tier. He can really start harassing now. Vayne has just got the cull and the refill, and she's just hoping she can get to a couple of items without being too far behind.
Now, crucially, chat, no cull on Belial, so that 70% of the time where Belial has an increased win rate whenever he buys cull is not in effect. So add that to your scorecards. But will this game prove to be an exception to the average? We will see Echo use that 5th stack on the W before the engage even happens, so potentially a micro misplay there. But there is no extended fight. Wheelery is going to drop low, is going to use the Condemn to knock the Ezreal back. Belial's Birth gets polymorphed into a squirrel, but guess what? The fight continues here in bot lane.
Wheelery smelt blood there, really.
Ooh, has to flash though. Bone plating procced by flopping around. Oh wait, level 6. Now, if Teal is able to clear this wave, that's the level 6 pop for the Renekton. So now the threat of death is significantly decreased.
I feel like Renekton can play to hold this wave. And just put Nasus in an awkward position. Yeah, it does seem to be slowly like matching the push here. I don't think either side will end up getting a good push here. Oh, do you want to pop the objective timers on actually? Just while we're thinking about it.
I knew something was missing.
There we go. Because I was just thinking about when Grubs were up and when Drake was up, and how they can position themselves to contest it. I think that Ari is in a pretty happy spot here. Obviously, no teleport on the Ari, yet she's doing pretty good on the CS department. Although I do think she just missed the cannon. I'm not quite sure. I think she might have.
Dare I say it might be the Big Brother roster, because it was, in fact, -1. Haven't really seen a lot of this mid lane. Asda on the Victor, not really pressing things all too much, but then again, it's not exactly a lane that you need to win to still be ahead, as you were saying before, Ryan, on the Victor. Very much comfortable in this matchup, and
exactly.
it shows
I think that
slightly ahead.
Yeah, I think that the thing that Ari can do in this matchup is look on Victor when they go to side lanes. You can use all three of your ult charges to close the gap, to dodge out on Victor abilities. I think then you can fight him, as long as you're not too far behind. But before then, it is really quite tricky.
I do find it quite amusing that Belial's able to do more damage to Wheelery. Oh my goodness, in an auto Q than Wheelery's passive W stacks do. That's real. Teal is doing quite well to get some poke damage down, but again, this Nasus is not here to win top lane. He is here to play this long game. A little bit of a stat check. Currently on 111.
Yeah, it's a tier map from the Renekton as well. That's not really what you see very much on this champion.
Oh my god, they've both gone big.
I think Nasus
Probably
wins this, to be honest.
I feel like this is a Nasus win, but here comes 333. Not going to be able to take this down. That Nasus ult is going to dissipate before Gertrude gets a chance to try and survive. Okay, really, Teal? Really? Grand Staff always going to come in on the bot lane, so now the bot lane of +1 is going to be on the back foot, but it's a condemn from Wheelery that does knock the Karma into safety.
I think Victor can close her path off. Carmen not having a lot of options here, might have to just run under the tower and give the kill to whoever hit her last.
And in this case,
she wasn't hit last either. Wow. That must have been very close to not being an execute.
Yeah, she was condemned by Vayne. I believe that might have been the last instance of damage.
Oh, wait. What if the condemn hit the shield? That could have been a possibility.
That is true. Hit the shield,
then it won't register as a kill.
Well, well, well.
As far as I know, actually. Maybe the CC does.
Now, in terms of game state, definitely +1 favoured. They are a Drake in hand. They have 3 grubs. 3 kills to 1. Gold lead is almost 2k.
I think the thing to remember in a comp like this is, whilst it is +1 favoured, and I do think it is a little more favoured than it would be in an even game state. Like I said, some of the champions on the side of Fuse do expect to be a little bit behind early game. But I think they're a little further behind than they maybe should be. But yeah, they do scale very well into their counterparts throughout the game. But this Hecarim does outscale the Pantheon, in my opinion, quite hard, and it's quite a threat.
And with the CS numbers, you can already see that Echo has been restricted so much from farm. Now, one thing to note, Renekton ult is about to come off of cooldown, and it will be a fight. Top duo is looking for here. Flash stun forward. This is going to be Teal in a bad spot. Not going to be using
+12
the ult.
Or whatever it is.
+12.
Yeah, whatever the stacks are when you kill with.
We do see old
Amalia
from Amalia. Manages to dodge the silence from the Chaos Storm. Not all too much damage able to come through. The skill shot's not quite landing. Pantheon comes forward here.
So I know Amalia quite well. I think she's a very talented player, a very unique player as well. And I feel like she's the sort of person that will go for the Blackfire Torch Ari setup as opposed to the Malignance one. Even though it's a lot less popular, I think she just prefers that playstyle.
So a while ago when she was on the cast for the -1 games, the Ari who was playing into you went for Ludens, and she was very vocal about how that isn't a choice that she would ever make.
Yeah, I agree with Amalia on that. Yeah, I agree with Amalia. Wow, I forgot that she cast with you before, actually.
Yes.
I forgot.
I've casted with 3 +1 members. I've not casted with Belial. I've casted with Shorty definitely.
I think the chat can't handle that level of hearing his voice as well as seeing him.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Belial, if he was on stream, I would have to like put a sensor bar over him to stop people from.
True. Free the Belial. We've got the Shoujins coming through already. The first item of the game came through onto the top side of +1. Shoujin's Hecarim very scary if he can get those Qs stacked up in a fight.
And another thing is, this Hecarim is going to have upgraded smite for this Drake battle. The Pantheon will not, unless he is able to clear these 2 camps very, very quickly and then move back down.
Even then, does he get the stacks? I assume he's got some treats because of how far behind he is, but because of how far behind he is, he's probably stacked some treats up, rather. Even that, I don't think he's got enough to improve his smite by then. Looks like it should be a comfortable +1 Drake if they decide to take it.
We'll be able to see once he takes the Scuttle Crab. No, he doesn't have enough treats. He's still 2 camps away even after the Scuttle.
Oh,
we will see a fight come through.
Good.
Decent Chaos Field comes through there from Asdar, but he is going to drop very low. There comes the Onslaught of Shadow, so now this is a very low Victor, but not low enough. Flopping around is going to be the first to drop very low, and that's kill for the Hecarim. He is stacked up, and he is ready to roll.
Yeah, this is what I was just talking about, actually. So it's quite good that I said that. It'll save me a bit of explanation, but Hecarim, as you know, every time he Qs and it hits an enemy, it reduces the cooldown up to 3 stacks by 0.75 each stack. So in these fights with Shoujin going and his Q stats going, he does so much consistent damage.
I don't think this is winning for Gertrude here. The mana is too low. The mana's too low. It's not a kill. And the Fury of the Sands will dissipate Dominus, but there is a Grand Starfall that comes in. Gertrude is going to drop quite low. Flash over the wall. There is no flash in response from the Pantheon. It does get the flash away from Teal, so that does mean that if that play is to happen again, then it almost certainly result in a dead crocodile. And if you're Australian, you'll think, hell of a good meal. I've actually had crocodile. Not great. Quite chewy.
These fights top do look close, but what isn't close is the CS. I'd be curious to see, if you don't mind swapping over, what the gold difference is top lane, because Nasus has had a lot of attention, but it's still 1,300 gold down to the right, and that's a whole BF sword.
BF sword is currently in the form of a Stride Breaker, which is definitely helping the Teal. Yes, I hate both of you. By the way, for context. Also, I don't know how the Hecarim one trick got Hecarim. I wasn't drafting. I'm not the coach. Ask me. +1 though, in the driver's seat. We haven't seen a lot of action from Belial, but I feel like if we don't see action from Belial, +1 have a greater chance of winning. I feel like, you know, if we want to be a statistics Andy here, Belial having a lesser KDA will usually be better for +1 overall. We are going to see Stella in a little bit of a full position. There is a flash available for the Pantheon. Goes back over the wall with the Spirit Rush. Now, will it be enough damage to come through? There's a True Shot Barrage that goes a little bit wide, but it's a beautiful double kill. 333, it's only 2, but guess what? He's 5-0-1 with a 400 gold bounty.
Hecarim is such a scary champion to have this lead on. I think he looks like a complete raid boss. I don't know how they're going to deal with him.
Teal has got Dominus.
I think he's okay. I think he's okay.
This should be survivable. Oh, I mean, he's definitely okay because here comes the horse. Peter.
The dog ignores the horse. The horse is here.
Hang on a second. Peter, the dog is here. Goes underneath the turret. Gertrude not going to be able to continue it, but... Oh, 3x! And it's 3 down. 6-0-1 to the horse. And Peter... The horse is here. It's actually 333, by the way.
I was trying to link together a Family Guy joke, considering the top lane champions are brothers. but I couldn't quite come up with a punchline for it, unfortunately. It looks like Vayne and Ezreal are relatively even bot lane, and I think if you're Vayne, you're happier than the Ezreal is here. Honestly, is not that far ahead for this matchup. So maybe the saving grace for the side of Fuse could be that this Vayne pops off in a team fight. Again, if this 1,000 gold bounty can go over to the Victor or to the Vayne, this game becomes a lot easier.
Speaking of easier, Stella does actually end up getting caught out stunned. Charm will not land.
Yeah.
And True Shot Barrage has just hit a co-op.
Yep. Never hits our Nisa though, because Nisa builds Spell Shield.
But the last one hit. They're currently dealing with repairs. But speaking of repairing, it looks like Ugandan Shorty is going to be in a spot of trouble. Wheelery dealing the damage here. Shorty drops low, but those shields keep him just out of death's grasp.
I like the aggression, but I feel like it's a little too much there. Again, I don't mind popping the final hour, pushing down, but to send your flash in a game like this, where you need to try and get a shutdown on Hecarim, I don't know if it's worth it or not. They should be aware that Hecarim is on the bot side, though he has been spotted out.
It's kind of like a freight train, though, isn't he?
He is.
Very much.
By the time you see him, maybe it's already too late.
Chugga, chugga, chew, chew. And this is the game I was talking about. 333. Stepping up compared to that Viego game. Not real agency on that champ, but this game, my goodness, this has been a complete 180.
I think all PlusOne need to look to do is accelerate the game. They have a Herald, they have push on both sides. They could look to accelerate the game and break this mid tower ahead of the dragon spawn. I think this is a great time when Renekton's back on the map to look to drop Herald into play Drake.
Now, a quick little stack update before there is a potential fight. I believe the Nasus is on about 321 as of counting. Shorty is going to look to root him up. He is going to pop the Fury of the Sands, and that's going to be the True Shot Barrage. It actually manages to hit. It doesn't hit the Nisa local. Gertrude and Echo having to back away here, and the Drake looks firmly in hands of +1. That is going to be Soul Point. This is the first Soul Rush we've actually seen so far. Every other time it's been stopped.
The first game when the first three have gone to the same team. Great omen for the side of +1.
Belial yet to get the Manamune, but also yet to get a kill or a death. So very much a vegan game for Belial, it feels.
You know what? If you're Belial, I think you'll take it. While she didn't get ahead as much as you maybe should have in the individual matchup, obviously, I know Vayne does quite well into Ezreal individually, but talking about the 2v2 here, I feel like he could have got more plates, could have got a bit more of a lead, but you're chilling.
+1 need to be careful. Might potentially be
You have a
overstepping here.
6-0 Hecarim. You are chilling. I do think Amalia is a little bit out of sorts here. A bit too far forward.
I do want to talk to you about something because I see an item in an inventory that I don't usually see.
I know exactly what you're going to say. Would you still love me if Ira Worm is the DM you just got on stream? So Sheen obviously building into Lichbane. I don't think it's a bad idea if you're playing Ari with Lichbane in a game like this.
Is that still Sheen or is that Dusk and Dawn?
That would definitely be Lichbane, purely because if you are Ari in a game like this and you're trying to put damage onto slippery carries like Vayne, you could just auto attack. Your auto will make your W follow. It's probably the best way to guarantee your damage, and I think Amalia knows she's not the carry this game. She just needs to make sure she gets damage down to help kill the Vayne. That's all she's got to do.
There's so much fucking random shit going on. I don't know what's happening. Guys. What do you mean, why didn't I answer? Answer what? That one hit. Guys, this cast actually matters because this is my make or break for Div 1. I didn't get a DM. I haven't received a DM. Oh.
The DM on stream that DGen support hashtag US. Would you still love me if I were a worm? I think love transcends. Actually, I'm not going to say transcends species because that just sounds very insanely weird. You know what I mean, though. I think if your significant other becomes a worm and they're still them, I think it's okay to, treat them to dinner, look after them.
Hacksaw, I want you to know that you sending that message turned the chat back on. So if anyone had said a racial slur, it would have been on you. Speaking of being on you, this crocodile is very much on this Victor. Teal, gonna be looking to lock down.
I don't remember this scene from Arcane.
Secret deleted post-credit scene from the director's cut.
Or this flash after to a champion that's sped up is very, very hopeful from inside of Teal. I do not think he needs to guilt this Victor. They're on Baron. They're getting it uncontested. He can just chill, save his flash.
Top laner is very angry. This Baron has slightly slowed down, it feels, and the smite will come in, thankfully. So no panic there. Teal. Teal.
Well.
Can we cut the chudness?
The gold lead is 8k gold. Vayne is 2 items. Do we think this game is salvageable?
Hang on. I'll get back to you. I'll wait until Teal's taken a spear to the jaw.
Is he out of here? He is out. He is out.
Well,
Let's
if there's
guesses.
no way.
Teal.
Please, someone clip that.
I love you, Teal. So
please, someone, if you can, clip that.
You've been such a pleasure to play with. Like, you always make me good. Yeah.
Please, I beg of you. You should be able to clip things.
That was such a Teal moment. No, I love that guy, but that was.
Do you want to know? So the question that you asked is there a way back into this game?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, well, Teal's on the map. I didn't even get to say it.
The gold lead did extend during that play rather than shrink. So
well, yeah, because he's worth about a Freddo.
I mean, Freddo's expensive nowadays.
Oh yeah.
British people.
Let Joe tell me how us whippersnappers have it so difficult with our £400 Freddos. Gertrude manages to find Stella, but there is a beautiful charm that lands onto flopping around, so he's going to be moving all the way back out. There's the Grand Starfall, which does get to go off this time, but Gertrude charmed up, locked down, and taken out. Somehow, the True Shot Barrage manages to slip through everybody, parting the sea like Moses. But Echo goes down. Teal, can he not be a chud for 1 second? No.
You can see the gold difference really coming out. The Vayne getting so close to taking down the Renekton. Again, if you just had a little bit more gold, maybe one more recurve bow or something like that, he gets the kill. Maybe you can play the game, but maybe it's too far to gone. I do think from the side of Fuse that they should be saving their cooldowns for the Hecarim though. I don't think we should wither anyone, especially Ahri, to try and catch them. They're way too slippery. We should be thinking about using our key cooldowns onto the important champion.
Damn. Calling Ahri not important. Shade.
I mean, Ahri, quite slippery. Hecarim, very fast, but not as slippery.
Very... He has 1 long dash, whereas Ahri has 2 minimum. Wither comes through here. Gertrude, going to be taking an aggressive stance here, but this looks like it might be more favoured for Teal. And the rest of +1 are mobilising.
Wait, I'm getting word from the studio. We've had our first 3-0 team. Congratulations to D4G for the 3-0 today. Lei Feng effect.
Yep.
Lei Feng effect. Tattoo it on your forehead.
Well, we're going to be seeing which one of these teams can make it to be 2-1. Not quite as prestigious as the Diamond 4 game is. Title of the first 3-0 team, but definitely still a way better stance to be in going into day 2, which is on Thursday now. Teal.
Oh, Broad are in the chat. Yo, I just want to take a second to say congratulations to Broad winning Div 1 at
Wait,
the LAN finals
hang on a
at the
sec.
Red Bull Gaming Sphere.
Sorry, Brod is here. Hey, absolved ain't shit. Nope, I'm not saying that. Alright, we're going to see Teal coming in onto the top lane. Gertrude is now going to be met with a Ugandan shorty. Gertrude the pony going to be taken down, very low, rooted up, locked in. Here's a Grand Starfall, but is it going to be too little too late? Teal gets the first kill. Echo's now in a 1 versus 2, but that's a big angry croc. And it's a double kill for Teal. Stella now in a potential 1v1 against Asda. Let's see. Is the Asda rewards card as good as they say it is? Everyone's backing off now. It looks like PlusOne will look to mount an offensive as 5. We see Belial moving up this mid lane. Oh my.
Typing who's broad in a UKL chat. These new gens shake my head. No, I'm kidding. Broad are the Div 1 champions back-to-back for UKL.
Wait, why are they here? Why is there not an official UKEL stream?
No.
I'm the official UKEL stream!
I mean,
alright, buddies.
They are my goats for sure. I remember scrimming against them and playing against Beatrice specifically. Like, that guy is so good. It's unreal. But yeah.
Well, in which case, for all of your open qualifier updates and coverage, which we might be seeing come to an end here, as that's a very scary Hecarim going on indeed. 1 for Teal, 1 for 333, make it 1 for Belial. And this Nasus is not long for the world. Gertrude the pony goes down, not quite swinging. It is in fact a very fast death.
It looks like the first wheelery death of the game on Vayne will be the only one. I think PlusOne can just close this game out.
I think
sadly, fell behind too much with the picks it needed to scale. Congratulations to PlusOne though, 2-1 on the day, 1-1 in actual games and 1 with the bye. Setting themselves up for Thursday.
And as we can see from at the top of your screen, we do also have our second 3-0 team in the Abyssal
I think
Randoms.
A good thing to notice is that Abyssal Randoms, the team that did beat PlusOne, did go 3-0. So
yes.
maybe PlusOne did fall to a team that are really quite strong. Obviously, they've got Influentic. That guy is very good. He played Div 1 last split on Verdant. I believe you cannot play the same team in Swiss again, so that should save them from having to play them. So you should get a nicer matchup on Thursday. Who are the possible matchups for PlusOne on Thursday? Who are the other 2-1 teams?
So the other 2-1 teams currently, Leon's KFC Weekend is a 2-1 team, and we will find out between Emrys Academy and Arrakis Esports as to who the other potential opponent is. Let me just pull up the actual thingamajigamabob. Just pull up. Oh, don't mind that. That was me from 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, GG to everyone on both sides, though. It's always hard to watch a game where you've got friends playing for both teams. Obviously, Laura and Wheelery, people that I've known for quite a while, especially Laura, and the PlusOne roster that I helped pick out myself back in the day. So it's a bit hard.
Now, we have highlighted 3-0 teams, but unfortunately, we do have a confirmed 0-3 team, which means that they are now out of contention for the playoffs. Pacific 5 have gone 0-3, which means they are eliminated from play. So they will still play games if they decide to play next week. However, it will only be to basically affect the standings, essentially. Basically, they're playing to try and bring down the rest of everyone, which is quite funny. And Anakis...
Yeah, I wonder how that will work.
Anakis is just confirmed. Anakis is the confirmed final 2-1 team. So that means that your potential opponents for PlusOne are Leon's KFC Weekend. It's 2-1s, isn't it? So Super Sparkly Unicorn, Berserk, Leon's KFC Weekend, and Arrakis Esports are the potential opponents for +1 next time we are here, which is Thursday. And as I have just realised, this is the only coverage that you can get of Open Qualifiers. So these teams that you might have never heard of and might never hear of again, this is the chance you get to see them. I'm going to open up day 2 and hope that someone is generating that for Thursday. But also, guys, can we talk about this? Can we please be consistent with what red that we're using?
Yeah, I agree. Although I
Can we?
think that specific red means that they have dropped out or left.
But the forfeit isn't that shade of red as well, so I don't know. I don't mind if it's different for that. I just want it to be consistent. give me like a color key or something, guys, please. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
You know what? We can actually assume what the matchups will be in some regard, because Abyssal Randoms will probably be playing D4G in their first game on Thursday.
well, okay, I think that's the only guaranteed. I think.
Somewhat, probably. Although, what are the 2-1 teams again? Because if any of them have played, that does rule out those matchups.
So, Super Sparkly Unicorns, Berserk, Leon's KFC Weekend, +1, and Arrakis. So let's just quickly look.
Have any of them played each other yet?
Super Sparkly Unicorn. Oh no, Fuse have already been. I have no idea. I don't think any matchups have been fully ruled out. Somehow.
Yeah, that's good actually. Makes sense.
Only reason I'm really waiting around is to see if we will get the next games on Thursday. If we do not get them today, then I guess I'm wasting my time here. So thanks, UKEL.
Yeah, I'm
Either
quite
way,
intrigued to see what we end up getting information-wise about
I'm
day 2. I do feel like they'll probably not think about it or fill it in until maybe an hour before on
Yeah.
Thursday.
I'm very curious as to what's happening with Cambridge Hextex, because that is a curiosity point for me. Because if that means that there's 2 forfeits, that means that only Pacific 5 is guaranteed eliminated and that everyone else is still in contention. Yes, most of them will be 1 and 2 or 2 and 1, but it still means that outside of Pacific 5, everyone still has a spot up for grabs. But I guess we'll have to find out on Thursday. It's one of those ones where we'll find out when we find out, to be honest. Joe, I don't know if you are still here or if you are capable of asking. Will we find out the games today or on Thursday?
I honestly think it will be on Thursday.
it'll
I know I'm not Joe, but I feel like
but
I've been in OQ a lot in my life.
also, if any teams have to drop out last minute as well, that would affect that. So that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm curious what happened with them, but again, life happens. I hope that if it is anything negative, that they're all okay, they're all in good shape and shit like that. It's been a good cast today. It's been fun. Had some banger games actually.
Just a little bit of a slight update. In regards to Division 2 and Division 3 promotion and relegation, we're currently looking at 2 Div 2 rosters in the relegation zone and 1 Div 3 top tier esports style name are currently in contention to promote to Division 2. Paragon and Emrys are on the chopping block. One of those 2 teams will not remain. One of these 3 teams, actually, will not remain in Division
But
2.
potentially, interestingly enough, it is possible that all three make it. Whilst there are only 2 spots, traditionally, sometimes teams do drop out. I remember last year, in between the Swiss and the playoff stages, a team did drop out, and that created another space, which made the qualifiers a little easier for some teams. So I guess it remains to be seen for sure. But at this moment in time, there are only 2 known spots.
Interesting. Well, as you can see, top of your screen, this was the kind of scheduling of how the day went. And as one final kind of roundabout way of explaining, Abyssal Randoms and D4G are your 2, 3, and 0 Swiss stage teams. Super Sparkly Unicorns, Berserk, Leon Kennedy's, that's Leon's KFC Weekend, PlusOne are. Oh, hang on, there's been a change. Emrys won.
Oh, is that a mistake then?
Can someone check? Was that initially Arrakis that was marked as winning?
I thought it was, yeah. Leon's KFC Weekend is a sick name, not gonna lie. Yeah, I feel like there's always some KFC related name. I remember the team that would play Open Qualifiers with the Asda name or something. It's like Asda Boys.
Just wait till they see the Nisa
It was
logo.
Tesco Meal Deal. That was the
Tesco
name
Meal
as
Deal
well.
is a team name
Yeah.
I recognise. Well,
There's always good names in Open Qualifiers. It's a shame this one has had less teams in it, actually.
I'm just going to very quickly open a notepad so that I can actually note things down. So D4G are 3-0. SSU are 2-1. Berserk are also.
Harold and Gilmore go to White Castle.
I'm gonna call them LKW because
It's been a while since I watched that, actually.
So now I need to work out. Void Grubs are 0-2. Wait, if I work down.
I feel like I'm in passenger princess mode. Like you're grinding, working
1
all this
and
out,
2.
and I'm just
Oh
staring
my
at the
god.
screen.
It's too many numbers. Too many numbers. I'm a numbers guy as well. Fuse are also 1 and 2.
Yep.
And that means that Emrys must also be 1 and 2. Loss? No. Emrys are 2 and. Wait, Emrys are 2 and 1.
Yep.
What is going on? So
The thing is, the
Arrakis
bottom 4
1 and
teams
2.
on the right had no wins. The middle, like 6 had 1, I think, and the top 4 had 2 wins, something like that.
So wait, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many teams am I missing? The bottom 4, which is Cambridge, All Eyes, Pacific 5, and HL Towery. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2 for HL Towery, and then Cambridge are 03. 03. And then right. Okay. Too many numbers. So, to give you a rundown, which you probably have worked out before I have, Abyssal and D4G are at 3 and 0. SSU, Berserk, LKW, PlusOne, Emrys are all 2-1, which means that one of those teams will be playing should be playing a team who is currently 1 and 2. Otherwise, they get a bye. I think. Because there is an odd number. As it stands, Void Grubs, Arrakis, Fuse, HL Towery are on 1 and 2. And then Cambridge, Pacific 5, and All Eyes on Gav, who are a confirmed dropout, are 0 and 3. That's your rundown.
Sounds good.
I think. We will find out on Thursday what the matchups and lineups will be, but until then, I've been T1 NCR Tinker for short, joined with Team Spawn Peak's newest mid laner, YOON. Any final words you'd like to leave us off with?
I think there comes times where you have to say something that just captures the hearts, but I don't think I have the je ne sais quoi for that. So I'll just sign off myself and say it's been a pleasure. Lots of love, everyone. Up the broad. Yeah.
Well, I might not speak French, but I've been T1 NCR Tinker for short. I will be back on Thursday for day 2 of the Div 2 Open Qualifiers. See you then.